enough.
Right. Let's have a...
Inside to battle, he always comes.
Right. I've started that. What have I done here? Why has that gone wrong? Who knows? Why? 1, 2, 3. That would be James. Would you be so kind as to take us in, please?
Previously on Dark Heresy. Hello?
God. Something strange has happened to my sound.
Is your sound recording working, sir?
I believe so. Let's just check. Desktop volume's working, Discord volume, mic volume, everything's on. Good. Right. Bring her to me, Canny. This maiden of murder you call a friend. Seraph has gone berserk. She has lost her mind, surely. In the big top, back in the carnival, after Slab beat Spear to death with a stop sign, she and Canny had cleansed the carny folk. It was a kindness, really. They were tainted, ruined, broken. They had been under Spear's spell and would never be the same, she said to Canny. And together, she and Canny had slaughtered them all. The men, the women, the children, and even the family. Oh no, wait, sorry, that was the wrong massacre. I do apologise. After that, after dinner with Lady Pagny, Seraph had seemed a little different, luring Hannibal to bed, and afterwards, when the temperature of the bedchamber dropped sharply, Hannibal had heard her speaking in her sleep. "I'm sorry," she said in a voice that was not her own. "Fuck you, you bitch," she replied to herself. The next morning, Dr. Pench and Trantia said they felt something was missing. The presence of her, the Inquisitor, was gone. They had been unaware there had been a connection at all, but it was notable now by its absence. "Ding dong, the witch is dead," said Seraph. In the carnival once more, attempting to return to the mansion the night after Lady Pagny's dinner party, they were attacked by Pressure Point. Again, Seraph fought with fury. The usual grace and flurry of strikes from her razor-sharp blades was cast aside as she hacked at her foes with a borrowed cutlass and laughed and roared at the sky as she pierced a man through the eye with Trantia's borrowed rapier. And later, after realising the mansion was gone, and you travelled to the workers' den, she left a trail of bodies in her wake. Good evening, Johnny.
I am so sorry.
You will be! I'm not even joking. Just wait. A scavenger here, an old man there, 2 dead sanctuaries guarding the interwall riser, 3 more at the top of the staircase at the entrance to the workers' house district. Well, one of those was technically Hannibal's kill, but who's counting? And then, of course, the 8 dead revellers in Ludmilla's den. One could say there have been warning signs that Seraph was becoming a little unhinged.
Warning signs?
Canny voxed Seraph as you'd left the king's presence, but it was not exactly Seraph who answered. Not entirely. The voice on the vox made demands, told Canny to bring them something if he wanted to see his friend again. Canny needed help. He couldn't think straight. This was all a bit much for him. Venetta would know what to do. He needed to find Venetta. Carell voxed Gaius, who gave the young arbiter the location of the new base of operations, Port Gaia, Hangar Theta 1-4, and Gaius dashed off to the precinct to arrange for passes for everyone. "We've got to find Seraph!" Canny declared. "We've got to save her! Save her from herself!" Meanwhile, in the hangar, Venetta had mapped a network of service workers, waiters, bartenders, and other professions in Angel's Haven, all tethered together in a web that spanned the entire entertainment district, connected together by neural links, the blue crystal MIUs, These people had been watching the wealthy, the powerful, listening in, recording their conversations. And those recordings were being sent to a location in the House of Virtue, a flesh palace, the nexus in this web of intrigue. Gaius, too, had had a revelation. He'd been searching for surveillance footage of the closed-down factorums but found nothing. Each factorum was very conveniently unobserved by any form of surveillance equipment, and on a hunch, he checked the records of the power grid's consumption in those areas, realizing that for a span of 30 years, as each of those factorums closed down, there had been massive reductions of power usage in those districts where the factorums stood, which you would expect. And then a month, or sometimes 2 or 3 later, the power usage surged once more, sometimes exceeding the previous usage by 10 to 15%. Gaius and Veneta began to exchange data. They had leads. Finally, after all this time, they had leads. They both got a little giddy with excitement at it all. "We're close," said Veneta. "Gelt's gathering information on rich people, maybe for blackmail or something. He's building an army of servitors," said Gaius, echoing the words of poor Otto months earlier. "We need to get some teams out there," said Gaius. "One to Angel's Haven and one to one of these factorums." And they began to chatter and plan and plot and scheme, these two machine people, exchanging their sweet data with one another. Things began to get a little steamy at one point. What was going on? What was happening with Gaius?
Hard drive pieces apart.
Lack of memory. What was happening with Gaius? Has he always been
Not
like
enough
this?
RAM.
Has he always been so fixated on details and investigating and uncovering truths and secrets? Or maybe it's the machine part of him taking over, some sort of cold, disciplined logic that was absent in him prior to his sickness has finally begun to manifest. His mind is enhanced now, as is the rest of his body. That firm, solid, hard, chiseled body covered in synth flesh. Blessed synth flesh. Veneta took a cold shower to calm down. Hannibal began setting up some rudimentary defenses in the hangar, small anti-personnel mines, screamers, stun grenades, even a simple barricade that faced the main hangar door. Gaius offered to look into the Beast House for Hannibal. Drummond might know something, he's been around a while. There might be something in the Arbiter's files. Gaius even has access to sanctuary databases now. Meanwhile, Siegfried and Trantia flew back to Pagny Tower, where Magos Grus began working on Trantia's eyes. Lady Pagny took Siegfried aside, patching his wounds as she told him of the latest development: her betrothal to Lord Atherton Rosa. Lord Eldon, Lady Pagny's father, had realised what was going on, that Lady Pagny was blackmailing or sometimes straight up murdering her many cousins and step-siblings to reach the top of the Order of Ascension. And, it transpired, Lord Eldon had realised Siegfried was involved in all this, because he's not the most subtle. The most alarming thing about all this was that Lord Eldon appeared to approve of his daughter's sudden surge of ambition, but, he told her, he would never name her his heir without a suitable heir of her own. Alexio, her own son, is out of the question, and since Delmont, her husband, is long lost to the Tranche War, she must remarry. She must produce an heir. Lord Atherton Rosa would be the perfect match, and together House Eldon and Rosa would be a force to be reckoned on with Desolate. Of course, it's doubtful that Lady Pagny or her father know that the Inquisition are investigating House Rosa, but let's not worry about that too much for now. They would meet this Lord Rosa soon, Siegfried and Lady Pagny, accepting the invite to one of House Rosa's factorums. But first, Siegfried would try to dig up some information on him, get a measure of the man, and maybe Magos Grus should be brought in on the whole thing, the Inquisition angle. He's a smart man, and although he has not said anything to Lady Pagny, He must have surely noticed the repeated gunshot wounds that need treating and replacement limbs that Siegfried's friends are constantly requiring. He's not stupid. He must know something's afoot. It was about tea time, which is an oddly non-specific time on Desilium, when the big rig arrived at the hangar bearing Canny, Slab and Ted, with Spring and Carell coming in hot on a borrowed motorcycle. It was time to make a plan. Many plans. There were several objectives on the table. Several teams would be needed. Canny spoke to Gaius and Vanetta, telling them what he had learned. It was Speyer, he said. He was back, and he had Seraph. Gaius didn't care. She's a psycho, says Gaius. Canny didn't like that. Canny drew his weapons on Gaius. He drew his weapons on a fellow agent. Fortunately, violence did not ensue. Speyer wanted Canny to bring him someone Canny could not bring. The Bitch Queen, he called her. He wanted the Bitch Queen to be brought to the place where it all started. Canny has deduced this, with his keen mind, to be the place Mesmeron first met Speyer, and he suspected that was not Potassia, where the demon had taken Seraph. Canny believes that Mesmeron and Speyer have an older history. Somehow he knows this to be true. Mesmeron has tangled with the demon long before it took her acrobatic lover. But there was another complication. Because King Sanchez wants Seraph, and he has given Canny 48, 46, 45, the clock is ticking, hours to find her, or there would be trouble. There would be blood in the streets of the workers' den. The sanctuaries have already begun massing there, poised to tear the place apart, looking for the killer, looking for Seraph. So many objectives, so many goals! Ted was taken to a workstation by Gaius and shown how to use the connection to the precinct's data servers to allow him to intrude on the city's new spheric grid. And out on the edge of the city, Silas and his friends were narrowly avoided tangling with the law when the city's south gate suddenly opened, admitting the wagon inside. Those orders had come from somewhere to let those people through, because a few moments before that, the sanctuaries were ready to drag you all out of the wagon. From the driver's seat, Silas voxed Gaius, requesting a repair team to tend the wagon. Gaius contacted Drummond, setting up an Arbiter's tech team to come to the rescue of the pest in the west and his companions. Okay. Right. Scene 1. Hangar Theta 1-4, Port Gaia, 5 PM. Bro, you there? As Gaius disconnects from the call with Silas, Ferinus makes a call of his own, a look of concern upon his face. He pauses for a moment before a look of relief washes over him. Oh, thank the Emperor. You alright? I had the bad feeling. There's another pause. Oh, for fuck's sake, bro. Not again. Right, I'll see you soon. He disconnects the call, turns to Dr. Pench. You best get that med bay of yours warmed up, Doc. Titulos is all fucked up again. Of course he is, says Pench. Grenade again, was it? He didn't say, says Ferinus, but he thinks he's broken some ribs. Spring sits cross-legged on a nearby data console. Oops. What have I done? There we go. Spring sits cross-legged on a nearby data console, picking at her fingernails with a knife. She's been sullen, quiet, ever since Carell returned to the precinct with his replacement set of armour. So anyway, says Pench, speaking of your brother, how's he been? Have you been experiencing anything weird, strange dreams, remembering things you'd forgotten, anything like that? The doctor asks. Dreams, says Ferinus. Yeah, now you mention it, I do keep dreaming about Potassia on and off. The start is I saw her, got big shiny armour and that, fighting the demon with the Inquisitor, and well, it's just a dream, isn't it? Now go on, feminist, says Pench. What did you see in this dream? Feminist frowns. They turned on us. The Astartes, the Space Marines, they started slaughtering the men of my regiment. The Inquisitor stopped them from killing me and Titulos. Sir Alpha was there too. She was sent off to Gelt, I think. It's real hazy. I've been having a drink for weeks, on and off, but it's changed this last couple of nights. After we went for dinner, says Pench. Yeah, that night. I woke up feeling like everything had changed, something was different. Pench turns to you, Vanetta. It's the same thing. It's the same thing Trantia and I felt. It's like an absence, right, Fez? Feminist nods. Yeah, absence. That's a good word for it. The fuck is it, Pench? What's going on? Pench shrugs. Fucked if I know. That night at dinner, the chef came out, wished Lady Pagny happy birthday, and then his voice changed. He said he was Felroth Gelt, speaking through the chef. He told us the planet was doomed and that we should all leave. He said he was giving us a chance. Didn't want to see good assets wasted, he said. He even offered us a lift off-world. He gave V something, right? A hollow wafer or something? It's a sign of good faith, he said. So he's here.
That's right.
Says Ferris.
Scale.
Scale? What, the geezer from the mountain?
Trying to hand him over. Bring him off.
Feminist frowns, he thinks about his film and says, then Gelt must be here on this world, yeah? For real-time comms like that. That night, after the meal, the dream changed. I saw the Astartes killing our lads again, but they were different. The lads, I mean. They were all fucked up. Changed. It was the demon, the foul mind. It did something to our boys, but for some reason, me and Titulos weren't affected. Pench pipes up and says, same sort of thing happened to me and Trantia. I've been dreaming about the past since the Inquisitor left, same dream every night. But that night, after the restaurant, things changed, the dream changed. I remembered things I've seen and done that I've forgotten about. I'd like everyone please to make an awareness test.
When did Mesron die?
Oh no, Pench just fell off Gelt.
You what, sorry?
Pench just fell off Gelt.
Who knows? What were you saying, Alan?
When did Mesron die in relationship with the timeline compared to the meal?
It was the night after the meal. It was, if you remember, you all went back to Lady Pagny's. Hannibal and Seraph hooked up, Siegfried went off with Trantia. I think Seraph tried to entice Vanetta into the room as well, and Pench and Vanetta stayed on the sofas in the living area. And it was that night we all had quite odd dreams that were different to dreams you've had before, subtly different. And that was the next morning. That was when Seraph and Trantia started saying that she was dead.
I'll say, I'll speak up for Vanetta. I'll say, perhaps Mesron has put some sort of control upon us, changing the way we see things. And when she's died, those blocks have been removed.
Okay.
I need awareness, sorry.
Yeah, please. So I'm send a message to Ted and Corel. Excuse me.
Failed with both Vanetta and Canny.
Well played. Where's Hannibal? Oh, he's there. Yeah.
Cheers, mate. I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, in fact, since Alan's AFK, I won't bother typing this. I'll tell you all what. Only Ted and Corel noticed this. When Pench says the dream changed, I remembered things I'd seen and done, things I'd forgotten. He glances at Vanetta and then looks away very quickly.
Oh, it's done Vanetta.
Yeah, don't mention it when Al gets back. unless you want to do it in character. But yeah,
No,
it's something he knows something about Veneta.
Who does?
Pench, Dr. Pench. I can't say too much more at the minute because Alan might come back at any moment.
It was light. Ted saw nothing.
I've only had one person's Rob for, so he saw nothing. He's too busy humming prayers to the Emperor and the Omnichai at the moment.
And calculating pi to its 75,000th decimal place.
Yeah. Still working on like extra routes of energy sources from the factories to see if we went to underground bases.
You have gathered some more data as well, which I'm going to come to in a moment when Alan gets back.
Okay. I'm enjoying computer Gaius.
Nerd Gaius.
It's a different side I never get to play on. Actually, I'm really enjoying it. I really enjoyed it.
It's quite cool using all the lore skills because you as a player don't have to know anything. You can literally just go, my character's stats are amazing. Tell me everything, GM. And then I have to tell you everything.
Hey, I'm back.
Well, I mean, you make me guess a bit though, don't you?
You have to kind of know where to start. Yeah, you have to know where to begin, and then I'll give you the info. Right, okay. You did, but I'm not going to tell you what it was.
Fair enough.
Basically, what the thing that they noticed was I didn't put in the chat. I just told them.
No worries. Yeah, no worries.
Pench's hands shake a little as he reaches into his jacket and pulls out an IO stick, lights it, takes a long draw, and he says, "Oh, hang on." No, he doesn't say that. He says, "In the morning, after that night, Trantia said she'd had similar dreams, things from her past. And we knew, both of us knew, that she was gone." Fairness nods, says, "The Inquisitor." Pench nods this time and says, "You feel it too, don't you?" Fairness nods, says, "Yeah." It's like she was in my head, but I didn't know, but now she's gone. I'm aware she's gone. And absence, like you said.
Like a shield of steel.
Pench takes another
That's what's
long
going through
drag.
Gaius' mind at the moment.
Your balls are like a shield of steel.
My mind.
Oh, I
sorry,
thought you said your balls.
I did.
That's a bit random.
Freudian slip.
Pench takes another long draw on the IO stick. He says, "One of the things I remember was back on Scintilla a few years back before we all met. There was this cult. We caught one of them. The Inquisitor. She just pulled his memories out of his head, just as easy as having a smoke." He takes another drag. He says, "Got him to spill all his secrets, the identity of his boss, the location, the cult's base of operations, all of it. And then she just went there on her own. Fucking wiped them all out. I've seen her get into people's heads a few times. She can just dive in, pull out whatever she wants to know, or change whatever she wants to change. She can make you remember things however she wants. I think some of us here might have been victims of that power, and I reckon when she died, it all came undone. But why, says Fairness, why would the boss be changing our memories? No idea, says Pench. Maybe to protect us from something. Or, says Spring from the cogitator desk, to hide something from us. She was a right dodgy mare and no mistake. I had a dream too, right, that night, yeah. I dreamed of home. Dreamed I was back in the black, in the big mister chasing me with his red eyes and his metal skin. I dream of him a lot. But that night, I dreamed he took off his head. And he had another head inside it, like a normal head, but bigger. And he said, "Do not be afraid, girl. Come with me if you want to live," or some fucking corny shit like that. And I thinks, well, he's got a big shooter and he's got a big smashing stick and he hasn't shot me and he hasn't smashed me. So I guess he might be all right. And he was. He was sound. Hang around with him for a bit. Old Big Ed. I've forgotten about him. I mean, I remembered old Big Ed chasing me, but I do remember when he took his head off and there was another head inside and him being sound and that. But now I remembers. And yeah, like Fezzer and Doc P says, she's gone. Old Mez has gone from me, Ed, now. And now I remember Big Ed. I didn't even know she was in there, right? Which is a bit rude, really. A bit invasive. Like an unexpected finger up the bum. Dr.
Carol raised his eyebrow.
Dr. Pench raises an eyebrow too and says, "And the rest of you? Anyone else remember anything different?" He looks around at each of you. What were you going to say, Gaius? Sorry?
Is my event with the Inquisitors changed at all? Or?
A little, yes. Gaius, you also dreamed that night. You dreamed of Kolhorgath the Pestilent, the demon who kept you in a cage on 47 Capella. You dreamt of some of your life on 47 Capella. You dreamt of the man known as the Vector, who was basically patient zero of the plague there, who became a chaos cultist and then vanished through a portal, never to be seen again, sort of. You dreamt of Inquisitor Lystug. And in this dream, this wasn't something you've dreamt before. In this dream, Inquisitor Lystug was adrift on a crude raft, bobbing about on dark water. You also dreamed of Dramar District, where all this story began. You dreamt a little of your time in a jar, which was not probably a fond memory. You dreamed of a picnic beneath a tree on a grassy hill. And around the picnic blanket were about a dozen stuffed toys, each with a plate piled high with sandwiches and other savoury treats, as one would have at a picnic. And this is not something you've dreamed of before, and it's not a place you remember. It doesn't look real. Laying in the middle of the picnic blanket was the broken body of a woman. Her head was smashed to pieces, but you could make out the golden blonde hair, and you were sure that it was her. It was the Inquisitor. "You're my favourite, Gaius," said Alyssa in the dream. "Do you want to play a game?" And the dream ended with another vision of Inquisitor Lystug, a memory of Inquisitor Lystug, when he rescued you from the cage, recruited you, sent you to work in Dramar District. In the dream, he reached into the cage. He wore no helmet. You saw his bald, liver-spotted head spattered with gore, as was his silver power armor. And he peered into the cage as he reached him, and he said, "Who are you, boy? And how are you still so clean?" And then the dream flickered. Sorry?
Dummer.
Then the dream flickered and changed. And Gaius found himself with another memory. A memory of being hoisted off the ground by the throat with inhuman strength. Inquisitor Mesmeron snarling in his face. "That's Inquisitor Mesmeron to you, Mortalis," before throwing him across the room. All 5'6" of Inquisitor Mesmeron, the 8-stone woman, Antonia Machenko, choked Gaius and threw him across the dining room that day in the mansion when he dared call her Mesmeron. All because he dared drop the title when he addressed her.
Times.
Would you like, it was a long time ago that, would you like to share your memory of your dreams, Gaius?
Yeah, I will. Quick, briefly. And then I'm also going to say, There's one time I blocked her out of my head, and then she got really mardy because she couldn't get my head. And that's it. Really, just joining in. Give a bit of feedback. Next.
Dr. Pench says she couldn't get in your head. Was that before or after the whole trip to that temple out in the wastes?
Just after.
It was.
It's after Pench. It's after.
Interesting. Hannibal.
To be honest, about that, I need to get myself some new marks. I'd like them burnt straight onto my exoskeleton.
Well, I believe the girl Zelda was looking into that hole.
She's dead.
She was in the mansion.
Okay, Barcroft is dead then. Unless, she comes back.
I'm
get
not gonna fucking kill her.
I can't even just think.
Barcroft is dead.
Can he have any memories that changed?
I'll come to that in a moment.
Okay.
Hannibal. You did not dream that night, but then again, you never met Inquisitor Mesmeron.
Nope.
But you did share a room with Seraph after dinner. You heard her speaking in her sleep, and the room went unnaturally cold. You heard a voice that was not Seraph's apologize, and you heard Seraph say, "Fuck you, you bitch." Would you like to share that with the group?
Yeah. Nothing to hide.
Okay. As you share this, Dr. Pench goes, Yeah, now I mention it, I heard screaming from Seraph that night at Lady Pagny's and, oh, sorry, never mind. He blushes a little, glances at Hannibal and steps away.
I like the spin setting on my new Robocock. Lady Pagny loved it that night.
That Lady Pagny probably doesn't remember because she was so fucking drunk.
I know.
Right, Venetta. We'll do Venetta. No, we'll do Canny next, I think. Canny, you had a dream of a world distorted and blurred, as though viewed through thick water or glass. And you could see people walking around dressed in white coats, their faces covered by respirators, goggles over their eyes. And there was dozens of these tall glass cylinders in the room. And within each there was a naked, hairless human form. You also dreamed of a fork in a road where 3 women stood, and there was one woman down each path. And you made a choice in that dream. You walked towards one of those women. Are you telling the group about this, Candy?
And he'll look up and he'll say, I don't dream.
Can you make a deceive test, please, Canny? I'm going to give you a +10 for that. Actually.
Too hard to dream.
Yeah, too stupid to dream. I've got no imagination. Okay. And I would like anyone that would like to have a go to make a scrutiny roll, please.
Who doesn't trust Cannon? Come on, guys.
There's at least 2 people in the room that don't. And Canny's one of them.
They trust me.
No scrutiny from anyone? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't believe you played me like that, Johnny.
Maybe, don't know what that was. Yeah, I trust you.
Canny says
Bullshit.
he doesn't dream. You're not quite sure that's true, Carol.
Yeah.
You don't suspect, that he's hiding anything specific, but you're pretty sure that he does dream.
Carol raises an eyebrow. Okay, the other eyebrow.
Now he's just doing this.
And then I'm going to say, even Arbeit between.
And he's going to look over and scowl. He's going to say something.
He dreams. That's why. He dreams.
Vanetta dreamed of her father. Of the times when, as a young child, she would waken in the night screaming in terror as she remembered the quite gruesome memories of her mother's death, which haunted her for many years. But her father, when she woke screaming, her father, the watchmaker, was always there when she woke from the nightmares. And he would wrap her in his jacket, take her to the workshop, and she would watch him tinker on timepieces until sleep took her once again. "You're safe now," he would say to her as he caressed her face. "My pretty little girl. You're safe, my pretty. What would have become of him, of Vanetta, had he done as the Magos asked? Had he agreed to work on that device, that strange clockwork device of brass and iron? Would the Magos have spared him then? And would Vanetta have grown up a normal child living with her father in the hive? Would she have been spared what the Magos did to her? How he enslaved her, made her chemically dependent on the foul-tasting gruel to ensure her loyalty? Lady Pagny's people have undone all that now. A Pench could have transpired for everything. But he had not, out of fear, loyalty. Those questions have yet to be fully answered. Vanetta, are you sharing your dream with the class?
Yes, Vanetta will share that with everyone. She won't leave anything out.
Okay.
Surely Vanetta, I'm not sure who knows about, let's say, Speye's catchphrase. That's surely like Speyer, either in the dream or,
Yeah, that's definitely Speye's catch.
Speyer, yeah, but I don't know, but does Vanetta know that? I'm not sure who's heard that. You've said it a lot of times, but I can't remember. I'm probably assuming she does.
Everyone here, I think, now has faced Speyer at some point, and he always says it.
Yeah, so I'm going to draw attention to that as well. Speyer doing that.
Pench looks at you, says, the psychos ain't really my thing, but they can get in the dreams, some of them. Maybe he's somehow connected to us all. Right, so we're all having fucking weird dreams about shit we've seen, says Pench, but we're remembering things different to how we remembered them before. So she's done whatever she's done to quite a lot of us. The bitch is fucked with our heads. Verinus pipes up and says, yeah, but there's got to be a reason. She's got to be protecting us from something. I'm sure of it. Something too dangerous to know, some sort of secret. Oh, secrets, says Spring. I've got a secret. Antonia Mesmeron, says Dr. Pench. Machenko, whatever her fucking name was not the heroic noble woman you seem to believe she was, Verinus. Look at the evidence. She was practically chased off Scintilla, denunciated. You know what that means, don't you? Accused of treachery, heresy. She ran here. She dragged us into all this when she should have been under house arrest. And that's another fucking thing. The mansion, the house. A bit fucking weird, isn't it? That we have a mansion we can move around wherever we like, or rather we had a fucking mansion. And then there's Seraph. Regardless of current events, the protocol for encountering a demon host is destruction. Exorcisms should only be undertaken in extreme circumstances, and even then, the host is to be fully interrogated after banishment and then purged. Well, Mesmeron kept Seraph around, and now look at the fucking mess we're in. And then there's fucking Gladstock. I don't even know where to fucking begin with that mess. Gladstock's dead, says Verinus. Well, that's one bit of good news, I guess, says Pench. The fuck happened there then? The morning after your fancy evening up, Ive, says Ferinus. After all these dreams, we woke up hearing Spring screaming. Ha! Yeah, says Spring. I had a dream about Bighead chasing me about and I got all scared and I woke Slab up and it was dark and he got scared and then we just sort of started screaming and scaring each other and a little bit of we came out and Slab, you was crying, you remember? Ferinus takes up and says, we started to notice the mansion falling to pieces, yeah? Cracks in the walls, cobwebs, paint peeling, that sort of thing. And over breakfast it got worse. The paintings on the staircase started falling off the walls. The old place was coming apart. We started gathering equipment, weapons, tools. We were going to have to get out. The door to Gladstone's cell was gone, ripped clean out the frame. And then Canny found Les. He'd been torn apart, fed on. I'm sorry, Gaius. I know you and Les were close. Gaius is silent with distress.
Down.
It was Slab and Spring that found Gladstone. He was trying to get to Missy and the boy. He'd gone feral, full fucking worm mode. We had to put him down. Cabell fought him in his PJs, says Spring.
Corral chuckled a little bit there.
We couldn't get out, says Ferinus. The door of the mansion wouldn't budge. I figured you'd lock close the doors and then this fucking Xenos arrived. An Eldar, I think. Just fucking appeared through a wall. Led us through some sort of portal. The next thing you know, we're out in this little town out in the wastes. We found a bar, we had a drink, trying to figure out what to do. And then that little scavenger showed up, Silas. Persuaded him to get us a lift back here, but he couldn't fit us all in the truck. So we stole another truck with some skev gang. Points out the window at the hangar at the big ring there. So Silent went back to town for the rest of it. It's quite a tale, Ferinus, says Pench. The door in Spire Packing wouldn't open that morning. We went to the carnival to get the other door, got jumped by skevs and then pressure point again. And that door wouldn't open neither. Trantia reckons the mansion might be bound to Mesmeron's will, so if she's dead, then what, says Ferinus? The mansion, is it just gone? Missy and her boy were still in there. And the nerd, says Spring. Zabadoo. You mean Zelda, says Pench. That's what I said. That's the one. Shit, I forgot about her, says Ferinus. Yeah, says Spring with a laugh. Everyone did. Don't worry, I'll find you another nerd. There's plenty out there. Look, says Ferinus. We need a focus. V. Gaius. You be doing some digging, yeah? What's our next move?
We're going to move fast and break things. We've got several objectives all at the same time. We're going to send out multiple teams. We're going to try and track down Gelt before he knows what's hit him. We've got a trail to, is it Angel's Paradise, is it?
Angel's Haven.
Angel's Haven. That's where Gelt's got his network of spies. I'm going to lead a team there. Kelly goes, I need to sort out Sanchez. Let's do it now.
Alright, so we've discussed some of this in Discord, so let's not dwell on it too much. This is where all the planning that's occurred in Discord over the past couple of weeks has taken place. Imagine, if you will, a group of skilled, trained Inquisition agents compiling information and ideas and rapidly forming a plan rather than half a dozen nerds ignoring Discord for 3 weeks. Veneta and Gaius both used their new connections during this time to gather some more information. Gaius is just enthralled by his data. Okay? So there's a lot of sharing of data here, so I'm going to assume that what's happening here is a bit of a round the table. Everyone's dishing out information, the teams are being formed, the plans are being made. So using a combination... Sorry? This is a montage, yeah. This is literally a montage. Using a combination of access to the Arbiters and Sanctuary databases, along with Just Stick, our Drummond's assistants, Gaius has compiled some information on the Beast House for Hannibal, and he presents this to Hannibal now. Gaius and Hannibal will both be aware of this. There is a handout in Roll20 with this information. which, for the sake of ease, I am going to make available to everyone. If it's not already. It is. At the moment, it's just at the top of the journal. There's a bit of information in there. You don't need to read it all now. But the important highlights are this. At some point in the last 20 years, a man named Fig Termius was arrested in connection to the Beast House here on Desalium. He wasn't the only arrest, but he is the only one who wasn't either servitorized or executed. Fig made a deal with a Desalium sanctuary investigator named Damas Sloan in exchange for a more lenient and less permanent punishment. Fig gave Sloan details which led to a number of additional arrests relating to the Beast House. There are no further details about this arrangement in the files, but Justicar Drummond has provided the home address of investigator Sloan, who is still a member of the Sanctuaries, although he's getting on a bit, and he's also provided the location of Fig Termius, which is the Oubliette Noctis, one of Desalium's most notorious prisons. Hannibal finally has a lead on the Beast House. Meanwhile, Alan's gone after. I don't know if you've already read that information, Dave, before tonight.
No, I haven't.
You don't need to worry about it tonight. Because you're probably not going to get a chance to do anything with it tonight, but it's there for you for planning for what you want to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got some handouts basically with some information and intel to help them with various things that they're investigating. Vanetta's got some she's need as well. Which I don't know where I've put it. Welcome back. So Vanetta's spent some time investigating the House of Virtue. There's a handout in Roll 20, Alan.
I'll be right back again. Sorry, guys.
All right. Dave, I've peaked. I've beat the Pingu map.
Fucking hell.
It's the finest map I ever did do.
Mad skills involved there.
Well, it's supposed to be a schematic, so you know. Oh, James, while we're waiting for Al to come back, Ted wanted to use his newfound connection, right, to the Desalium infosphere. So from this, you have free access to the Arbiters and the Sanctuaries information. So basically the Coppers and the FBI. You can also theoretically access any other data system in the Hive, but depending on where it is and the level of security, you know, the difficulty changes. So is there anything in particular Ted wanted to look into?
In respect to what?
Anything you want. The last session you requested access to this system. I don't know if you had any specific plans or you just thought it'd be a useful thing to have. I don't know.
I don't remember that at all.
No.
Which is
Well, you've got that access now, anyway. It's Gaius basically gave you a rundown on the system, so you how to use it. It's right near the end of the session. But you do have that now, so there's no rush. Because it's going to be a couple of sessions before that comes into play. If there's anything you want to gain access to, you can use that connection to augment missions that you're on. Because you're a bit of a tech guy, you know, you can potentially hack into security systems and things like that. Places that you go.
Yeah, but it's not like the mansion kind of database, is it? With all fucking that info.
No. The mansion database is currently unavailable. But there are connections to, like I say, you've got complete access to the arbiters, sanctuaries. Theoretically, you could access other noble houses, things like that, all sorts of stuff. Now dual Alan. Ah, yes. Double Alan. So yeah. So you've got that information on the House of Virtue, Al. Like I've said about the other stuff, it's not going to really be that important tonight. It's information that's there for you. The map you'll see on Roll20 is kind of like a schematic of that particular facility. You've also got the handout, which has got a lot of information for you. You've basically gathered all you can on the House of Virtue.
Yeah, my thoughts for that one, guys, is to go in. We've got guys there, we've got Carell there. Maybe go in as a false arbite, you know, to gain entry and to just trying to do it under illegal guise. I think that's maybe the way we'll maybe do it. Maybe get some uniforms, or yeah, I think that may be the best way to go about it. That's the job for another day.
Yep. Next up, Siegfried isn't currently there, but I've got some information for Siegfried too. So up in Pagny Tower, Spire Eldon, Lady Pagny, at Siegfried's request, has used her connections and one or two more underhand techniques to acquire some information for him on Lord Atherton Rosa, her betrothed. Siegfried wanted to get the measure of the man, his exact words. That information is available to you in Roll20 as a handout, Johnny. It paints, to summarise it, paints a pretty good picture of his lordship. He seems to be a decent man. He doesn't seem to have any dirt on him. Not that anyone knows of, at least. But all that information is there for you if you want to have a look at it at your leisure. Tomorrow morning, Siegfried and his companions are to visit Spire Rosa and be taken on a tour of the factorum. Lord Rosa's father, Persion Hargrove, initially refused Siegfried's request for a tour, but in light of his betrothal to Lady Pagny, Lord Persion Hargrove's son, Atherton Rosa, has overturned his father's decision and extended their hand of friendship to Siegfried. Besides, the young lord said in the restaurant, father is away, so what he doesn't know won't hurt him. But it should not be forgotten that Carell recently made a connection that has been overlooked for many months. That Lord Persion Hargrove, the head of House Rosa, is also the same man as General Calcior Delaney, an officer of the Desolium Involute PDF, a man who rallied the Sanctuaries to defend the Purity Gate down in the Gallows Way. And General Calcior Delaney has another alter ego, Carell has discovered. He is the heretic at the top of the Inquisition's most wanted list. He is the rogue trader Feldorf Gelt. But that's a problem for another day. So as I say, John, you have a handout there with a load of information on Lord Rosa, which we'll worry about another time. So all this information is on the table. What I imagine is going to happen, unless anyone has an objection, is at the end of this meeting, this briefing you're all having, those that are going to take part in the House Rosa visit are going to trot off to House Rosa and spend the night there in preparation, because there will be makeup, hair and clothing to be sorted for various reasons. But everyone is still here at the moment. But at some point, you lot are going to trot off there, and I believe not long after that, Vanetta's going to lead the team to the places. With information shared and plans made, Gaius heads off to the precinct, looks up ownership of Miller's den. Finds nothing. There is no record of anyone owning Miller's den in the works district. There's barely any information at all on it. Justicar Drummond explains to Gaius the workers' house regulates itself. It's gangland, always has been. It's a good place for the masses to unwind and let off a little steam. A city like this needs places like that. The sanctuaries, though, they keep out. They let the gangs police it themselves. And the arbiters, we have no interest in petty crime, prostitution, drugs, that sort of thing. It's not in our wheelhouse, Drummond says. But nonetheless, Gaius gives Drummond some intel on King Sanchez, some blackmail material. Vox recordings of his confession. Again, says Drummond, this is outside my remit. It's a local law enforcement issue. Something for the sanctuaries to deal with. It's not heresy, it's not apostasy. If you want my arbiters to get involved in this, there will be questions from eyes up. What do I tell them?
Fine, we'll manage without. Don't need those arbiters.
Don't need them. Back in the hangar, Veneta opens her connection to Rover, King Sanchez's cyberhound, and also to the servo skull that controls Lord Miller's den. The club is packed, as one might expect at this time of the evening, but looking closer, Veneta notices a lack of music and dancing and revelry. The club is host to dozens, perhaps 100 armed men and women. The Brotherhood. Half a dozen low-hive gangs united by King Sanchez in his bid to rule the underworld. Could be worse, of course. Had Canny concentrated on working for King Sanchez, there might be even more gangs under the King's rule right now. Through Rover's audio pickups, Veneta hears the King speaking with Diego, his right-hand man. How many? The King asks. Maybe 100. They have cleared the streets. They have armor. They have breaching teams. Diego asks. Any word from Canny yet? Asks Sanchez. No. You put too much faith in him, Carlos. He is not going to turn in his friend, says Diego. I am hoping to avoid further bloodshed, says King Sanchez. One life to save others. Sanchez seems morose. He frowns. He takes a long swallow from a dark glass of Amazon. But it seems our pit fighter friend cares not for the spilling of innocent blood. Sanchez takes a gold-plated pocket watch from his breast pocket, glances at it for a few moments. We are running out of time, Carlos, says Diego, pointing to his master's watch. You will address me as Your Majesty, says Sanchez, as he stands and replaces the pocket watch. Or King, whichever you prefer. King Sanchez heads towards the bar, taking down another bottle from the shelves there. King Sanchez, says Diego, beginning to get flustered. There is a horde of coppers outside our door. Pissed off coppers who think we have killed some of their own. And all you can do is get yourself a drink? No, Diego, says the king, very calmly. I wait, and I drink. He pours a generous glassful of dark liquid. Canny will come. And if he does not, takes a sip of the drink, gestures to the assembled gangers. Then war it shall be. King, says Diego. Carlos, my friend, my general. The sanctuaries have an army, and more will come. The king smiles slowly. He will come, Diego. He will bring me the girl. The sanctuaries will be appeased and they will leave this place. He is not him, my king, says Diego. The pit fighter, he is not your son. He cannot be trusted. Sanchez lashes out, smashing the glass into Diego's skull. Diego stumbles, blood pouring from his face. You think I am stupid? You think me a fool? The king bellows. You think I cannot tell the difference between my boy and some pit fighter from the fucking gutter? Diego stumbles backwards, clutching his head in his hands, crimson spilling between his fingers. Canny will come, King Sanchez growls. He will bring the gun. Grabs another glass, pours another measure, takes a long drink. Renetta alters her connection, switches to a two-way box, uses the codes Cammy has given her to contact Santiago, Consuelo, and arranges to meet them. Half a kilometre inside the city wall, down at ground level, the wagon is pulled over to the side of the road on a quiet, disused stretch of highway. Silas, along with Jarek, Titulos, Eric, Vasquez, and Light, are outside the vehicle, watching the slowly growing pool of machine oil spilling from the transmission housing beneath the wagon. A few meters away, the mad preacher, Balthios Dahan, stands by his own vehicle. Balthios towed Silas's wagon here, along with his glass steel riding companions, after the transmission in Silas's vehicle was terminally damaged by something during the ambush in the desert. For those of you that were not present, Silas and Agnetha made it safely back to the town of Trade after you parted ways. They found Titulos, Jarek, Vasquez, Eric, Light, and the El Servitor in the bar, and had a drink or two, a hand of cards, a brief chat with this mad preacher Balthios Dahan, and then boarded the wagon and headed back to the city. About halfway home, they were attacked by a strange pack of cybernetic monstrosities, and I would remind those who were present not to say a word. These cybernetic monstrosities were led by a rather large chap riding what can only be described as a mecha hippo. The hippo swallowed Agnetha whole after she became ensnared in a net, and then Light too. And when the battle swung against the maniacal mechanical monsters, the big lad, the leader, had fled with his robo-hippo. But the wagon has an autocannon. And Eric put it to very good use, shredding the monstrous creature's rear end, bringing it down in a shower of scrap metal, oil, and meat. The big lad was dispatched soon after, but we won't talk about how. Not just yet, because I don't want to spoil the surprise. Agnetha and Light were freed from the robo-hippo's remains, and just when it looked like Silas and his chums were going to be walking back to the city, along came the mad preacher they met back in Trade, Balthios Dahan, and he towed the wagon back to the city. And there was a very brief moment when it appeared the sanctuaries were not going to let you in, but you were allowed access, and you contacted Gaius for assistance. And now, leaning on the side of Balthios's vehicle, the driver, a woman named Noeen, who has never spoken, watches you in silence. You've yet to hear her utter a sound, not a single syllable. And just a second, put you on a little map. That's where we are at the moment. Balthios' two other companions, two other preachers who ride these glass steeds, these kind of crystalline equine creatures, are keeping watch, peering this way and that in this dark, dingy alleyway of the Hive City. Skevs are known to operate in this district, although you very much doubt you have much to fear from them. You are a force to be reckoned with. Your other new friend, the one who came to your aid, is still inside the wagon with the Eliservator, keeping out of sight. He does not wish to draw attention to himself. Understandable, really. You know, says Balthios, addressing Silas, Light, and Eric. Johnny, if you'd like to reprise your role as Eric. You're muted, by the way. It's no trouble at all. We would have happily towed you all the way to your destination, but I understand. We're outsiders, we just met. You don't want us knowing where your super secret base is, no offense taken. But we'll stay here, keep an eye out for danger for you until your rescue arrives. And then we shall depart and never speak a word of what we have seen transpire here. There are still sinners out beyond the hive wall ready for purging, and they are not gonna seek absolution by themselves, are they? Ha 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 ha! A couple of hours go by, and then you hear the clatter of tracks on Ferrocrete. From out of the gloom comes a heavy armored vehicle, looking a little like a Chimera APC, with a heavy crane mounted on the back.
Oh no.
Look, I couldn't find the right token for this vehicle, okay? So I put a crane...
That's not in scale, Dave.
Anyway, I apologise.
Good.
It looks like a Chimera with a heavy crane on the back. An Atlas armoured recovery vehicle, adorned with symbols of the Mechanicus and the Adeptus Arbites. And I really wish Hayden was awake right now. A trio of figures clamber out of the vehicle as it clanks to a stop, each clad in the red robes of the Mechanicus. Two of them immediately head over to the wagon and begin to inspect the damage, while the third approaches your group and consults a data slate, and he goes, Mr. Cassidy.
Hi, that's me. I'm Cassidy.
Excellent. Strange voice. He says, oh, nice to meet you. Unit Gamma 14B with the MRAC, responding to a request for assistance from one Arbiter Gaius Mortalis, who is clearly not among your group and technically is the person covered by our policy and not the vehicle, and certainly not his friends. But the order came down from Justicar Drummond that we're to divert precious resources from serving actual clients and Arbiter personnel to recover this, and he peers at the wagon, vehicle. So, if I can get your mark on these forms, and he hands Silas a stack of paperwork to go through. My companions will assess the damage to your machinery and commence repairs post-haste. How's it looking, KX? He calls. One of the other two tech priests, who's been crouching by the wagon, peering underneath, turns away from the vehicle and faces your group for a moment, and he just goes... There's a blurt of binaric. The first man says, ooh, Unit KX27 says this ain't gonna be cheap. But you ain't picking but you ain't picking up the tab, so I guess you don't care. We can't fix it here. You've lost half your transaxle, drive shaft's cut right through, and half your transmission looks like it's been in a fight with a Balagord. He gestures to his own vehicle. We'll have to tow you back to Gaia. You ain't all going to fit in the Atlas, so some of you'll have to ride in your own vehicle, or all of you, whatever. Don't really care. We're already breaking half a dozen rules and protocols for you boys, so one more ain't going to matter. Whoa, what in the Omnissire's oil-stained knapsack was that? All three of the tech priests take a step back, startled by the sudden motion of the wagon as it rocks from side to side. You got a fucking wild animal in there or something? Yeah, says Titulos.
Nothing to worry about.
Something like that. Farewell, fellow servants of the Cold Emperor, calls Balthios to Han as he mounts his own vehicle, his companions falling in on the glass seats. Until next we meet and perhaps smite our glorious master's enemies, side by side. He rides off with his entourage. Right then, says Gamma 14B, shall we? The tech priest clambers aboard the Atlas, backs it up to the wagon, and hitches it to the winch on the back of his tank, and then you're off towards Port Gaia.
Woo.
It's about fucking time! A few hours later, the wagon, eventually towed by the Atlas, is dragged in through Port Gaia's gates. Paperwork, supplied by Gaius and Justicar Drummer, awaits you all there, granting you free passage to come and go, to avoid the queues, to not be searched by the arbiters and sanctuaries on the gate. The Atlas drags the shattered wagon through the busy port, past fire-blackened landing pads where small shuttles and larger cargo lifters come and go, bearing goods from across the sector, or perhaps hauling away the fruits of Decilium's labours. A small congregation of people stand by one such pad, watching a trio of men burn to ash under the thrusters of an Aquila shuttle as a grey-robed priest bellows prayers of retribution and damnation at the top of his lungs. A human chain of 24 people tethered at wrist and ankle are marched onto a dark, rusting shuttle under the watchful gaze of a squad of sanctuaries. Everywhere, voxhalers blare prayers to the eternal master of mankind, interspersed with stern reminders about having transit papers ready and that smugglers will be punished and cleansed in fire. The Atlas drags the wagon to the far side of the port, far from the busiest of landing pads, to the vehicle hangar marked Theta 14. Gamma 14B clambers out of the Atlas and unhitches the winch as you all clamber out of Silas's vehicle. "Right," he says, "this is you, apparently. Boss said best not to ask questions, so I ain't. Later, Omnissiah be praised and all that." He reboards the Atlas, which spins on its axis and begins to trundle off back towards the precinct. The hangar doors slide open. There stands Ferinus and Neus. "Whatcha? Fucking hell," says Ferinus, as he moves over to the wreck of the wagon, its port side door still hanging loose in its frame. "This thing looks almost as bad as you two, bruv." He claps Titulos on the shoulder, hard. "Ah, thanks, you cunt," says Titulos. He grimaces as he holds his broken ribs. His nose is broken too, and his left eye is blackened and swollen shut. He's covered in blood and machine oil. "You should see the other hippo," he says. "The what?" says Ferinus. "Nothing. Pench about?" "Yeah, he's in the back. He's set up a little med bay." He glances over Eric and Jarek, both of whom are also a bit bloody and battered. "Best get you all patched up. Gaius and V have got a plan. Several, in fact." He pauses, looks at Jarek for a moment. You realise Jarek is talking to Ferinus over the Vox in that way he does. "Yeah," says Ferinus. "He's here." He activates his Vox. "Ted, your girlfriend's here."
On my way.
You hear the voice of Jarek straight after this in your earpiece, Ted. And it says, in a very digital, hard-edged voice, it says, "Your creation misses you. It is sad. It latched onto me, speaks to me in binaric. Please come and take her. She is unsettling."
Who's Jarek?
Jarek's naval corpsman, basically a shipboarder who was sent down to defend the mansion and has failed. You've met him.
Yeah. It's just couldn't remember.
He's the guy with the shield and the hammer and spear. He can't speak. He doesn't have any vocal cords or a lower jaw. "There's something else," says Titulos. "We've got a guest." The wagon shifts suddenly as something massive moves within, and a figure steps out of the open hatch into the hangar bay. "Fucking throne," says Ferinus. "V, Gaius, fuck it, everyone," you all hear in your Vox beads. "You better come out here. There's something you need to see."
On our way.
Ted's running out with a wire to plug into the servitor.
Got his USB cable.
Yeah. USB cable from the back of his neck.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll head over.
Alright. With the entire team back together for the first time in, well, about a year, really, but technically only a few days, the hangar is starting to feel a little cramped, even more so with the inclusion of the stranger that stands with Silas and the others that have returned from the wastes. He stands a little shy of 8 feet tall, with a massive, overly muscular frame. He's dressed in crude fur and hide armor. He's a giant, an imposing figure. His bare arms are studded with cybernetic connections. Several more are visible on the back of his neck and his bald head. A massive bolt pistol, which is almost the size of Ferinus's bolter, hangs from one hip in a handmade holster of leather, and a huge, oversized power axe is tucked into his belt. He is so massive, so powerful in appearance, that to gaze upon him fills your minds with awe and perhaps a little fear. But all of that is irrelevant in comparison to the most startling detail of all. His face. If you ignore the old scar that runs from nose to jawline, and if you picture his cheeks a little chubby, well, no, a lot chubbier, you realise that this giant, this mountain of a man, bears an uncanny resemblance to Canny.
You won't ignore my lead.
Everyone, says Titulos, this is Tal. He helped us out of the pickle back in the wastes. Tal, this is everyone.
It's another canny. How many cannies are there?
Is that Vanetta?
Has he got barcode on the back of his neck?
Sorry, I missed that, James. What did you say?
I said, has he got a barcode on the back of his neck?
He does not.
Oh. And is he bigger than all the other cannies?
Oh yeah, he's much. Canny's just over 6 foot, I think, isn't he? This guy's like 7'8", and much more muscular. Canny's just a fat cunt. Let's not beat about the bush.
Well, no. What an interesting discovery that is.
The giant notices the hulking form of Slab, who is just standing at the back, keeping to himself, and he begins to smile. This wide grin spreads across his features, and he goes, "Slab? Slab, is that you?" He pushes through the guardsman towards the Ogrin.
You don't talk like a canny.
Far too intelligent. Slab will look up.
Like canny.
Got moves like Gunner.
You think he is a canny? I reckon all of you are a chip off the old fucking block.
What are you doing, Dave?
The Slab will look up and see what's going on.
You recognise the man. It's been a while. He comes over to you and says, "It has been a long time, my old friend. How are you? Is that a stop sign?"
It is, yeah. What are you doing here?
Oh,
Why is there two of you?
he looks round and he hasn't noticed Canny until this point. And as he does notice Canny, he seems to bristle a little bit. He frowns a little.
And he's going to bristle as well. So.
And Canny, you notice that he does look like you, but he's like a more handsome, less flabby, taller version. And
That's up for debate, Dave.
you know it in your heart, Canny. And he looks around, and everyone says, "That, my friend," to Slab, he says, "is a long story." And then he points at Canny and says, "And that is an abomination. You should kill
Fuck
it
off,
now before it is too late."
Canny has already got his cleavers out, I guess, now at this point. You're calling an abomination. You don't know me. Who the fuck are you?
He takes a few steps towards you. He doesn't pull his weapons. He says, "I mean no offense to you, my little friend, but it is true."
You have to wave in that one. Nicole says hello.
Hello.
Hello, Nicole.
You could have...
Calm your tits, Tao. He's a bit stupid, but he's all right.
He nods when you say he's a bit stupid. He says, "Yes, most of them are." "This one visited my home, and yet did not come for me. Why is that, little man?"
I missed that. So who's he talking to?
You.
there?
Canny, yeah.
Not come for you. Why would I come for you? Why would I give a fuck about you?
He
You want to
shrugs.
take the lead.
He shrugs and says, "Many of your kin have come for me."
Why? Because there can be only one.
He shrugs and says, Perhaps it is something deeper, a calling, a scent
Like the
of
salmon.
blood." Yeah, the salmon swimming up the river. It's a scent of shared blood.
I couldn't be bothered, mate. Bigger fish to fry, things to do, mate. Wasn't interested in you. I don't care about you, whoever the fuck you are.
He peers at you for a long moment and says, "Interesting. This has not happened before."
I like OG Canny.
He turns to Vinetta. He seems to think perhaps Vinetta might understand the most and says, "Often these creatures, these
You call him a creature?
abominable wretches," he completely ignores Canny as he says that. He says, "they have a tendency to seek out that from which they came from and then ultimately die. But this one does not seem as hostile."
I'll fucking show you, hostile.
He looks at you, turns back to Vinetta and says, "Again, not as hostile. He threatens, but he has yet to make an attack." He shrugs.
Canny's gonna make an attack.
Make a weapon skill. Well, make a normal attack, whatever sort of attack.
Can I make a charge, please?
Yeah, you can charge. Yeah.
I don't know where Canny is. Where is he? Let's have a look. Sorry, guys. Well, he's big as well. Look at him. He occupies many squares.
He does. He occupies as many squares as Slab.
I don't think I can charge 4 squares min or 3 squares min. I think
4.
It looks like maybe 2. Okay, it looks like too close. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll move forward, and I shall. My cleave's already out. I shall go for a double strike.
Okay.
Now I can't remember how Canny works. So we've got plus. On that. Does light? Oh no, light's not really in combat. I'm just okay. That's a hit.
Okay.
My cleaving hook.
Was that a double attack? Did you say?
Yes, please.
Okay. Tal steps calmly to one side as you make this ferocious attack, and it's like it's effortless to him. He just steps to one side. He's not drawn his weapons, and he just reaches out and he catches your cleaver arm as you step past, and he says, "Ah, there it is. The usual slow, clumsy thuggery I would expect." And he's going to try and disarm you.
Okay.
Can't remember how disarm works. Fucking hell. I ain't got my rule book. Where's my rule book?
I'll have a quick look, mate. I'm already pretty much there. Disarm. You may use a full action with an opposed weapon skill test.
Okay.
If you beat your opponent, he drops his weapon. So do you get 3 or more degrees? You take his weapon.
Give me a weapon skill, please. Okay. He grabs your wrist as you rush at him, and he just gives it a little twist. You drop the cleaver, and he catches it in his other hand. And he says, "Interesting. A strange choice of weapon." At this point, Canny, he's just got you, like, twisted your arm behind you, and you're squealing like a little pig, and it's absolutely effortless for him. And he just gives you a little shove. Make an agility test. Okay, and you sprawl forwards, face first. It's there's a bit of a ripple, bit of a wave up his back fat as he hits the ground. This giant has just absolutely humiliated Canny, and he just doesn't seem to bat an eyelid. And he turns to Titulos and Silas and the others that he's met, and also to Slab, and says, "I suggest you restrain your friend here before somebody gets hurt."
Fucking kill you!
Ah, there it is. The spirit.
That doesn't count! I'm gonna pull out another cleaver when I can. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna try and get my cortex actually. But yeah, Canny's ego's bruised, but he's gonna need restraining, I think.
Okay. Is anyone going to try and restrain Canny?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Slab's probably the best bet, yeah.
Leave it, mate. It's not worth it. And he's gonna shout, "Slap!"
Slab and Canny, I'd like you to make opposed strength test, please. There we go. Canny is easily overpowered by the massive bulk of Slab. The giant is still inspecting the cleaver, and he walks very close towards...
Get your hands off that, you fat cunt!
When I'm bear hugging Chubbs, I'm going to say, "Towels, pack it in. Stop hitting yourselves."
Very good, very good.
He says that he looks the blade over. He smiles at Slab and he says, "This is a decent weapon." He holds it back out to you, handle first, and he says, "If my friend here lets you go, do you think you can behave yourself for just a little while? And maybe you can learn something, and maybe I can learn what's different about you."
And the fight seems to go out of him, and he'll go, "Yeah, just give me it back. It's mine.
There's also
It's just a warm-up.
There's also Canny a very
I want the recount."
a very strange feeling in you at the moment, like you kind of want to obey this man.
Yeah, so the fight goes out, Canny, and he
Okay.
Like wrestling with putty.
Just constant. You're not sure which bit you've got hold of.
Just keeps drooping over my arms. Oh, it's fucking horrible.
Like a melted
A
cat.
sack full of lard.
Yeah,
And he's,
the fight's gone out of him. He knows his
okay. And Tal looks at you, Slab, and says, "Release him, Slab."
What? No, pack it in, Tal.
That one didn't count.
Canny, Slab's still confused and calling both of you Tal.
He's the good Tal, and you just got all the shit. You stop it, Tal.
No one really knows what Slab's on about because he's not pointing at people; he's just saying it.
I'll let go of Canny.
Okay. And the giant says, "Now, I believe a conversation is in order. Do you have anything to drink around here?"
Yeah, we can drink.
Okay. I'm just going to go for a wee. Back in a sec.
I totally ignored this hook in the last few games ago now. Dave refuses to let the hook go. But I don't blame him. Do not blame him.
That was intense. It was like that was the most intense family reunion I've ever seen.
It's one of those like clone father, a decent Canny from Richard. Yeah, it's funny.
I hate you, but I love you too.
All the other Cannys are just
Mundane.
in comparison. There's no barcode.
One of them's actually a little skinny hippie called Herbie.
Oh.
Veggie.
So, shortly after, you all find yourself gathered in the control room. Pench and a couple of others have found a few dregs of assorted alcoholic beverages, which they've shared. And Tal begins to tell you his story. He tells
I've
you.
got half a bottle of blush. I'd like to get out.
Oh, excellent. Anyone else sharing the blush?
I shall pass it to Tal after I've had a swig.
Okay. Give me a D10. Canny's skin slowly turns a vivid shade of yellow, and Tal, after
How totally out.
and Tal turns a very vivid shade of purple as he begins to tell his story.
Well, now it's easier to tell them apart.
Purple
Look at it
Tal
through
and
the
yellow
eye.
Tal.
I thought Tal was you, Tal, but shorter and you'd let yourself go a bit.
Clearly more fugly than me.
He says, "No, Slab. How would I shrink that much? I mean, look at him.
Well,
He's a
you sort
tiny
of got
little
shorter
man.
and went outwards a lot.
That's not how physiology works, Slab. We've had these conversations before.
I'll get confused.
I know you do.
Like the salmon slab.
Canny's just become obsessed with salmon. Just for a change, Canny's food orientated. Says, my name is Tal Marak. I am a battle brother of the Hammers of Retribution chapter of the Adeptus Astartes, or I was. For the last 15 years, before my incarceration, I was a member of the Death Watch, chapter of veterans from many other chapters, adept in the art of hunting and slaying Xenos. Several decades ago, my battle brothers and I were hunting some dangerous Xenos creatures on the loose within this sector, creatures that were suspected of having survived some ancient apocalypse. We moved from planet to planet, following leads, chasing whispers and rumors. We never found our quarry. But we heard from a member of the Order Hereticus that our targets were hidden on a remote moon. And there we traveled. And there we were ambushed by machine men, vile creatures, not sanctioned by the Brotherhood of Mars. Of that I am certain. We were heavily outnumbered. We must have killed 100 or more of them before we were brought low. I thought myself doomed, but I awoke in a cage. My brothers were there, but our armor, our weapons had been taken. The one that captured us called himself the Iron Huntsman, and he sold us to a group of flesh sculptors known as the Splicers. They made monstrosities for fighting arenas, enhanced warriors for private armies, bodyguards for criminals, anyone with thrones to pay. Their leader was a creature named Vyorhas, a Xenos, a Drukhari. He experimented on my kin and I. He took things from us. Sacred things. Gifts from our Emperor. I believe he was trying to recreate the Emperor's greatest work. He was trying to make more like us. And he looks at Canny and says, his experiments failed many times.
No!
And although
a failure. I was going to say, wild bright yellow.
he said, please, my friend, this is nothing personal. It is just a statement of fact. I doubt.
Personal.
I doubt. What the hell? He says, I doubt he ever achieved his full vision, but he did have some success. He made creatures that shared some of my abilities. Vyorhas's work took its toll on my brothers and I. Brother Garen was the first to perish. I watched Vyorhas take his brain from his skull and slice it to ribbons before my eyes, to see what made us different. He wanted to know the secret of how we learn through the consumption of flesh. I know not what they took from my brother Jeremias, but I know they subjected him to great pain. Do you know what it takes to make an Astartes scream? I listened to him for days. He roared like a beast as they cut him and took from him. They kept Brother Thrir and I alive for days. They took blood, spinal fluid. I do not think they ever intended to kill Thrir or I. We were worth more alive than dead. But what they did to Thrir broke him. It broke his mind. He was insane. He began to pray for salvation, but not to the Emperor, to something else. It was a kindness, what I did. It was necessary. He looks forlorn for a moment. A shadow crosses his face. He glances down at his hands. They kept me alive for years. They learned from their mistakes. They took from me my seed. I saw some of the things they created. They were imperfect.
You're not better than me!
Every time Canny interrupts, he just glares at you. In time, they ceased trying. They stopped trying to recreate us. But they had learned how to harness some of our strengths, some of our abilities. They made mongrel bastards, cloned them, made an army of them. They looked like me. Like you.
But nothing alike.
18 years ago, I was released from my cage by a man named Arcturus, an inquisitor of the Ordo Xenos. He looks at Silas and the others that were out in the way, says, I have told your companions some of this. Arcturus was hunting a traitor who was known to work with Xenos. The trail led him to the Splicers, to Viohas. The Drukhari son of a bitch escaped, and I pledged my life to helping Arcturus find him, to avenge my brothers. I traveled with Arcturus for many years, but I was not present when he died, when he was killed by the very traitor he hunted. I admired Arcturus, I respected him, and I swore to continue the hunt, not just for Viohas, not only to avenge my brothers, but to avenge my friend Arcturus. And I travelled with what remained of his people for many years. That is how I know Slab. And there was another of the Inquisitor's people, a woman. She was very strange. She could change her face, her shape, her voice. There was nothing there behind the eyes. She was a blank canvas. She could take the form of anyone, absorb memory, mimic personality, body language, everything. Utterly devoid of her own personality. She was nothing but a weapon, a master assassin. A fine warrior, no doubt, one I fought alongside many times, and no mistake, but she was nothing more than that. Nothing at all. He straightens up, takes another sip from the blush, goes a little bit more purple. They called her Mesmeron, for the way she could transfix her prey and hypnotize them, make them do her bidding. It has come to my attention that you have served this woman, and that she is now an inquisitor. Was. What do you mean, was?
Well, don't know. I think she's been killed. Left us. Don't think she's coming back.
Mark my words. If you ever meet the person that has killed Mesmeron, run.
weapon?
A
She
killer.
wielded that.
Arcturus. She was created by him. She was found as a young girl, a child. She was one of 2 twins. I know not what became of her sister. I know very little of her sister, only her name. Persephone. Arcturus never called her Mesmeron, he called her Antonia. There were whispers amongst the others that he had taken her as his lover, and they questioned the morality of that, for she obeyed him without question. There were doubts it was consensual. But when Arcturus died, she grieved. I had never seen anything like that from her before, not a single display of emotion in almost a decade. But when the Inquisitor died, she wept. She wailed, and she swore a vengeance. And I swore it too. I would help that thing, that woman, hunt and kill her lover's murderer. And then she would help me find Viojas. He points at Silas, says, "Your friends and I spoke in the wasteland about your mistress. As I say, she was no Inquisitor when last I saw her. We came here to this world a decade ago, following the traitor's trail. We traced him to an old abandoned mid-hive district on the edge of the city. It was a trap. He brought the whole district down on us, Mesmeron. She fell, as did the rest of Arcturus's people. There was no way she should have been able to survive that. Hundreds of tons of rubble and plasteel plating. But I searched for her remains and found nothing. When I tried to return to the ship that brought us here, it had gone, broken orbit, was making for the warp. So I have been stranded here. I tried to find the traitor, but it is not easy for one of my kind to move about the city. Then in time, I met some of my bastard children. They have a habit of coming for me, seeking me out. Like the salmon, yes. They are driven by a compulsion. Through their minds, I have learned that Viojas, the man who created them, is here on Desalium. So I've hunted him since. And today, with the help of your friends, I have found the Iron Huntsman, the man who captured me all those years ago. And through his mind, I have seen the location of Viojas' lair. But how to get there remains hidden from me. He points at Silas, says, "The small one said that Veneta could help me find this place."
To be sure. That's my Silas. Vanessa will say, what do you know of this place?
It is
Say
an
you know its
orbital,
location.
platform. I know Desalium has many. I can describe it, perhaps draw you its likeness.
Well, we're back at the base now. The main,
Yep.
main base. Let's go to my console.
Okay.
Go and plug in. See what we can bring up about the satellites around us.
Okay. So without any rolls, there are 112 orbital platforms.
Where do we start?
Where do you start?
Has anyone got a pen and paper for Tar? I'm gonna, he's gonna. What's he got? What information does he have? He says he can draw. He got a
Yeah,
description of
he
lights as
starts to
well.
describe it. He starts to draw key areas. It's going to take you some time to look through all this.
Yeah, I think this can do this before we head off for our mission.
Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, Veneta wasn't going straight away, was she? She was going to basically oversee the beginning of the other mission and then go. So you can sit and help Tal. Give me a tech use test, please. At +10. All right. And we shall briefly leave those people there, and we shall fly on over for a moment to Spire Eldon.
Gonna head off and get a drink, guys.
Okay. Siegfried, you close the file on Lord Atherton Rosa. It makes for a very curious read. A man without any apparent vices, respected by his peers, loved by the commoners too, charitable man with a love for the arts and history. His only weakness appears to be his youth and naivety, which in his position can be a most grave weakness. There are rumours that he funds a low hive hospice, surely not, and that he once put out a rival lord's eye in an honour duel and then offered to pay for the replacement. He has been put on he has been romantically connected to one Lady Ysella Vorst of House Gotha. Many comment that he has been struck by Lady Vorst's beauty, which has distracted him with her manipulative ways. There also are whispers that Lord Persian Hargrove, his father, Felrothgeld, is very protective of the boy, almost a little too loving and caring towards him, which does not befit his station as a head of a major house. And then again, Atherton is the only child of Lord Hargrove and the rightful heir to House Rosa. Maybe he should be protective. And you sit there reflecting on what you've learned for a few moments when you hear the door slide open behind you. "Ooh," says Trantia, "what are you reading? Anything exciting?"
Just checking up on our host. What a guy. That's all I can say. Seemed to have put a foot wrong. Ever.
You turn
Maybe
and
a little.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it's alright, that's all.
You turn and you see Trantia standing there in the doorway, still dressed in the mesh-lined low-hivers garb she's been wearing for a couple of days now. And she smiles at you. It's a very genuine smile, the smile she has for you. You can almost feel the warmth of her affection for you, radiating out from her. Her eyes, those soft, pale grey eyes, sparkle for you. That was quick, wasn't it? The skin around them is still a little pink and raw, presumably from the heat where her eyes melted out of the sockets earlier today. And she blinks, and whoa, now they're purple, Siegfried. She blinks again. Now they are aflame. The smile widens. She blinks once more. They return to her natural grey. "What do you think?" she asks.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
"Good. I'm pleased you like them. Now, come with me." She takes your hand. "We have a big day ahead of us tomorrow. We should get some rest."
Rest?
She smiles again. "Lady Pagny is waiting on the shuttle to take us back to our quarters. We could rest once we return there." She smiles once more as she turns to lead you towards the shuttle pad, and again, those flames flicker in her eyes. Only this time, you don't see her blink.
Ooh. Cool. Follows her.
Okay.
Not gonna argue with one with flames in her eyes.
Siegfried toddles off with his pretend wife. So with that dealt with,
Yes.
Canny, do you want to go see the king?
Sure.
Okay. So,
Sooner I can get away from
big lad.
better Canny, the better.
Canny 2.0, you might call it.
OG Canny.
Okay, so at this point, various things happen. some of the team head off to Lady Pagnes to meet with Siegfried and plan for tomorrow. Some of you begin to ready yourselves for the raid on the Nexus. Veneta is currently helping Tal, and then at some point, off you go. Obviously, Veneta is still patched in to the club. So at any point during what we're about to do, Veneta can kind of be involved until she decides to disconnect and go off to the Nexus.
Oh, cool. One other thing as well, can I try and get the Auspex score back from Silas? I think I gave it to him. I think I gave it to his... I think it's with him, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
So, for some reason, Ted has Veneta's favourite servo score.
Oh, you have? Oh, right, okay, so... may I have that back, please, Ted? It's quite useful, and I have a need for it if you don't mind.
Ted will shrug and say, "Oh, I was gonna stick it on top of the silver top of a woman."
Oh, if you have a no, it's maybe no. Like Veneta's gonna have a little think. What do you mean? What's going on with his servitor then, Ted?
Well, I've remembered that it has no sensory anything, and I feel a bit bad that I've just left Alyssa in the shell without any windows.
Alyssa's in there.
Yeah, I managed to save her from the mansion going Pete Pong, and well, it was all just such a rush, and I thought she'd taken care of the sensory things herself because she was telling me how to plug her into it, but
He's been alone all this time.
yeah.
Knowing anything and trapped. All this
Well,
time. Since the mansion.
Well, now you bring it to everyone's attention, eh?
Why, Ted?
I didn't see you saving her from the fucking mansion.
Oh, there was a lot going on, Ted. I just didn't. No, I didn't think.
You just didn't think about your fucking friend. No, it's fine. I'll just save her.
No, you're right, Ted. No, you're right. Yeah, I didn't think. No, the servo skull. You keep it. It's more important that you have it for Alyssa. Maybe we should do that now. Maybe we should work together and attach.
I think
now.
that's a great idea if the servo skull will even work. But
Well, I mean, yes, we can. We'll make it work, Ted. Let's do that now. Alyssa must be. Well, she must be going mad in there.
well, we did. Did we talk to her together? We did, yeah. You heard her on the comms, man. She doesn't sound. Well, I couldn't understand it. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, Veneta knows that she's scared. Actually,
Sorry.
she's afraid she's dying.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot about that bit. So I shall. Let's work with Ted and try and see what we can do.
All right.
Without further delay. I'm going to say sorry, Tal. This will have to wait. It's not important.
It was,
No, it's not. It's not a priority. I'd say, Tal. I'm not saying it's not important.
I don't think you should bring this to the attention of that big fucking Space Marine looking motherfucker.
He's not as attractive as Canny is. Again, she doesn't say that either, so that's what she's thinking. Got no meat on his bones, you think?
I'm not sure if it's Alan or Veneta or Canny speaking right now.
Kind of meld. It's cool.
Well, chances are they've probably got a similar amount of meat. He's just got more bone.
Yeah, and more organs. Well, he did have.
No,
I'm just worried that he knows what a fucking serious tech blasphemy is, like you and I do, and he's not as understanding as we are.
Yes. Let's keep him on the peripherals. We'll do this to ourselves. But yeah, so we'll leave Tal and his objective for the now, Dave, and say I'm going to get drawn away.
Okay. Yeah, the entire next part of the campaign is a sitcom in which you all live in a house together with a space marine whilst trying to hide your various heresies.
We can just, just try and make passive-aggressive comments and see if he'll fuck off.
Constantly coming
Isn't
up with
the time-
ridiculous situations to distract him. Oh, Tao, we've booked you on an art class at 7 p.m. Okay, so while all that's going on, Canny and his hand-picked crew are going on a mission.
Dave, just a minor point.
Hello.
Before we go, can I try and leave that? You know that big fucking axe that you said I won't be able to leave. Can I try and leave it?
Oh yeah, if you'd like.
Yeah, I just want to leave that behind. Well, I don't want to take it with me, but whatever. Said it might not be that easy, but I'd like to leave it over my bed.
Yeah, okay, not a problem. We'll worry about that another time.
Cool.
In a bit. Okay, so Canny, Slab, Light.
Before I go, Slab's going to distribute his bag of goodies that he rescued from the fucking
Very good.
the mansion.
I'd
That
forgotten
reminds
about
me
that.
as well. That reminds me. I was like, got a couple of guys loyal to me. Got any weapons for them? I don't know. I'm not sure what they. Santiago and what's the other guy called? The other minion.
Guy, it's a lady.
Lady. What's her name? Sorry.
Consuela.
That's- Not Consuela. What weapons do they use? One of them has like a special weapon anyway, like a.
Yeah, so
Just remind me what they have and what they use.
Consuela has a hand cannon, an auto pistol, and she has like a mono axe, two-handed mono axe, which is technically a scythe.
Huh? Yeah, that's what I was
And she's got like a special attack as well. And then Santiago, if I remember right, he has a fancy special move as well. So Santiago, which was played by Johnny last time, has he has an auto gun, a custom auto gun called Maria. He also has a machete and a bionic arm that actually gives his punches a decent hit. But his main fancy ability is he can override and overload Vox equipment, to which he can transmit his favourite pound music at excessive volumes.
very useful.
So yeah, Slab's bag of things. I'm going to pop this up on here. You should all be able to see it now. This is what Slab rescued from the mansion before it all went to shit.
I can't see any pop-up, Dave.
Oh, you should be able to. Why is it not? Oh, I know why. Try now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, for the purposes of this bit, Dave will be playing Slab, Alan will be playing Canny, James will be playing Light, because that's their characters. Johnny, you originally took the role of Santiago. Would you like to continue with that?
Yeah, I can do. I can't remember how he speaks though.
He's the Mexican gangster. Calls everyone S.A.
Okay, say.
That's the one. So Santiago he's cybernetic. He's got a cybernetic arm. He's got cybernetic ears, which look very much like earmuffs. And there is constantly the sound of pound music coming from him. He's always like dancing to the beat that he's got because he is the club DJ. But he's also a gangster. He's a pretty decent fighter, to be fair. Hayden had Consuela. There is also Esther Beatson is coming along, who is Arbiter Verispex agent, but she's going to be out of uniform. And Jarek is coming along for a bit of extra muscle. So
Oh, Jesus, Tony.
off we go.
It's plan to go in through back door, like see how the situation lies. This place is surrounded by sanctuaries. This place is a tinderbox. All we need to do is throw a match. They'll be killing each other. It'll be a fucking bloodbath. And then while it gets crazy, we'll use the chaos. We'll move in. Maybe we'll play a bit of extra loud pound music through the speaker system. Because Finette's got a back door, right? See? And then we'll meet Sanchez, chop off his head. What? Slab, you mind always in the
Santiago
gut?
like starts nodding. He's like, "Now you're talking my language, you say?"
Maybe we'll do an extra Rick roll. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get in Sanchez, chop his head off, and then we'll take over. Be easy. Nothing could go wrong.
So, one thing you will all be aware of. At the moment, Consuelo and Santiago aren't there. You will be in a moment.
Alright.
But one thing the rest of you are all aware of is Vineta has eyes in the club. She can see through Rover, which is King Sanchez's cyberhound, and also she patched into one of the servo skulls that patrols the club. So she can see what's going on in there. She can feed you information in real time until she heads off for her mission. Okay, so Port Gaia never sleeps, and the queue of traffic to get out of the spaceport almost equals that of the one trying to get in. And you watch impatiently from the big rig as each and every vehicle is checked over, scanned, papers are checked, servos, skulls, scanned faces for wanted criminals and heretics. When finally your vehicle reaches the front of the queue, Light hands a sanctuary his paperwork, provided by Gaius and Drummond. The sanctuary scans the documents quickly, activates his Vox link, and immediately the servo skull patrolling the vehicle ceases its actions. The half a dozen approaching officers step aside and the armor barrier rises. These lawmen do not know why you were cleared for passage without inspection. Chances are most of them don't want to know. It's above their pay grades and they're not paid enough as it is. And they're smart enough to not ask awkward questions. Light guns the engine of the big rig, nosing out into traffic, into the city via the 12-lane superhighway that spirals around and around the Hiveskin wall, up into Delta Zone, where the superhighway splits and feeds into the Hive proper like a backwards flowing river. Lane 3, 4 kilometers, exit 19 Beta, up now, a steep series of winding switchback turns along a 3-lane arterial. Level 8, almost the bottom of the mid-hive. The roads get dicey here, fractured, fragmented, shattered by decades of gang warfare and hive quakes. Light slows the rig to a crawl in places, pulls hard on the wheel at junction Kappa Omega 121, and ahead lies Golden Dawn territory, one of the largest free gangs on Desalium, large enough almost to rival the Brotherhood, and eager to remain apart from them too. The big rig hits an ascension ramp up 2, 3, 4 levels into a shattered hab-block zone where people still dwell despite the lack of power or running water. A few stones and rocks bounce off the rig's slab-sided rear quarters, but Light ignores them, pushing on. 2 kilometers, 3, 4, an ascension platform, old and rusting, in desperate need of some machine oil. Takes Esther a few minutes to get it up and running again. Jarek and Slab stand guard over her with their shields as the woman works. She's forgone her Arbiter armor for this. Drummond made it very clear. This is off the books. This is Inquisition work. Do as you're told, Esther. Don't ask questions. And come home alive. One thing I don't quite understand, she says to Slab, who looms over her. What exactly does the Inquisition want with a nightclub?
Or sausages, I guess.
Not paid to think, Esther. Just listen to me.
Right, yeah.
I'm in charge.
Yeah, sure.
Somewhere unwind in it.
There's a crackle of static from Jarek, which you just pick up on, Slab. You know the guy well enough by now to know that he only speaks through the Vox. What he says remains a mystery to you, though, Slab. Esther peers at him for a moment, and then shrugs. Just wondering, that's all. She gets back to work on the ascender controls.
Have I heard that?
Sorry?
I don't know if I heard that or not.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I said, don't wonder.
All right. Keep your ear on. Esther
We need
continues.
discipline here. It needs to be a smooth operation, no fuck-ups.
Sure. Yeah, no fuck-ups.
Yeah.
Stood nearby, Canny and Light leaning against the big rig's cab. Light hears Canny's stomach rumble. Make an awareness test, please, Light. is a fail.
Yeah. I'll add 10 to it. Why not? At the end of the night.
I mean, you need to use the fate points on like turning stomach noises, I think.
James, I'm sending you a message in roll 20. Alan, I'm sending you a message in roll 20.
And he's going to sniff. Who's that? Kenny's going to look around wildly. Somebody fought.
With a flash and a spark and a cloud of filthy, dusty smoke, the ascender platform judders to life, rising up into the heights with the 5 of you in the big rig upon it. The journey up to the disused district takes about 10 minutes. These vehicle ascenders do not rush, and you find the streets too narrow for the big rig, but your destination is not too far from here. And within 10 minutes or so, you find yourself at the opening to a large ventilation pipe, greeted by 2 familiar faces, Santiago and Consuela, 2 members of the Brotherhood who Canny has been working with occasionally. Tick-tock, tick-tock, 34 hours remaining. Canny! Consuela beckons you over to the yawning mouth of the ancient air ducting. Where is she? Where is the girl? She looks between each of your companions. I thought you had brought the girl.
I'm going to look between them. You didn't say anything. You're not grasses, are you? Didn't say anything.
Grasses? What are you talking
You never
about?
said anything. You didn't tell anyone nothing. You never tell anyone you're meeting me.
No,
Hey, take it easy, Holmes. We ain't no snitches.
You're loyal, right? Loyal.
Of course we are loyal, Canny. We came here thinking, we get a cut of the reward. We split it 3 ways, me, you, and Santiago, and you bring all these friends, but there is no girl, Canny. There is no girl.
I'm going to look them both over and scrutinise them.
Okay.
Tell me that they're loyal.
Yeah, they're loyal.
Yeah, good. I knew you were loyal. I knew I could trust you. Didn't say anything to anyone because you're smart. Yeah, there's no girl. We can't get the fucking girl. It's not happening. There's been a change of plan.
Oh, Canny S.A., says Santiago. Everyone knows, the king. He says we gotta keep an eye out for you. When you get here, we take the girl straight to him. But you ain't brought the girl, S.A. What we gonna fucking do, man?
Don't worry. I've got a plan.
A plan?
Yeah. You see, the king, he's past his best. It's time for a change of management. Time for a new king. King Canny, right? And the people who helped me, like you two. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be loads of rewards. This is the goodie house, right? You two. Look after you.
Oh shit, Canny, says Santiago.
No,
shit.
Don't worry, don't panic.
You're going up against the king. You're fucking loco, S.A. Real fucking loco. The entire Brotherhood is in the den, S.A. You go in there, you're gonna fucking die, S.A. Canny, I'm sending you a message.
No one's gonna die.
Like's just gonna snigger to himself that everybody dies.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. No, don't worry. Don't worry, I've got a plan. I'm gonna even the odds. Don't you worry about that. Trust me. I've got it all worked out. No one's dying here. Well, not who's loyal. Not you. If you are loyal.
I would like Light and Slab, please, to make and Canny actually to make an awareness test at +10.
I'm going to have to head off soon, guys.
Yeah, no worries, James. Okay. Santiago looks a little uncomfortable for a moment. Says, "Okay, we with you, Kenny. We with you. Look, the king, he don't know. Sorry, the king don't think the sanction knows about this entrance, essay, but he's taking no chances. There's a dozen assholes inside there from the Pig Iron Raiders. So they're guarding his pipeline, essay. They're trying to get the fans back on, you know, and there ain't no one getting through here, yo. Even if you get past those assholes, there's 100 mean sons of bitches in the club, armed up, ready to brawl. You know, they ain't none of them happy about those lawmen assholes breaking the truce. They say they stay out of the den, yo, and we stay out of their business. They stay the fuck out. But this friend of yours, she got everyone's, you know, real riled up, Kenny. She broke the rules, Kenny. She shed blood in the den.
Don't say anything about Seraph. Don't talk about Seraph.
Okay, I'll say. Okay, I say. I'm just saying. Shit's about to go
Don't talk
down,
about
man.
her. She's not done. She's all right.
Sure, whatever you say, Kenny. You the boss.
Yeah, we can take out those big iron fuckers. But no, we're gonna the sanctuaries. They're gonna fight for us, right? It's gonna be a bloodbath. Everyone's gonna go off, and then in the chaos, we're gonna get in there. We're gonna take out the king. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna even the odds.
Sure, okay,
Don't you worry. Don't you panic.
You got some massive cojones, I say.
And he's gonna smile at the. He's susceptible to flattery.
Santiago says, "Look, this is all well and good.
Plan.
Well, what you got to understand, the Pig Iron Raiders just through there." He points to the pipe. Says, "They've been told the moment they see you, if you come in this door, they are to vox the king. They are to tell him you are on the way. If they say you ain't got the girl, what do you think happens then?"
Right. Who looks like a girl? I'm gonna look round.
Esther raises her hand and says,
Lav's going to put his wig on.
Slav does have a wig, actually. That's canon. Esther raises her hand and says, "I mean, I look like a girl, but there's something else. I can stop these Pig Iron Raiders, this gang. I can block their vox."
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's good.
She holds up the
also put
device.
on your head and pretend that you're the girl. We do both, right?
Slav's going to put a wig on. Esther holds up the
All right, sorry.
Esther holds up the device and says, "It's only a short range, though. It's only 25, 30 meters max."
Okay. What do you need? I want to know here. Can we have her pretend that she's Seraph by putting a sack on her head and on the box at the same time, or do we need to? One or the other? It's a question.
Let me just have a quick look. I'm not sure of her build. Obviously, it depends on how well someone knows Seraph. She's shorter than Seraph. She's not got the same build or frame. You know, Seraph's built like a dancer. Anyone that knows Seraph would know it is not Seraph.
Okay.
But you know, do these gangers inside know it is?
Yeah, probably not. So, well, yeah, I mean, blocking the box, that sounds great, but if we can also get a bit closer to them by having a pretend captive, that's great as well.
Put a bag over her head, I say.
Yeah. You got a sack?
I'm sure you can find a sack from somewhere.
Gotta rummage around his inventory.
I'm not going to halt your plans for lack of sack. I'm sure someone will have something resembling a bag.
Not as much as you, I say.
Yeah, I was like you. I'm gonna hand over an IO stick. To, what's their name? Consuela.
Consuela.
Yeah, you're right, Consuela. I knew I could trust you. I could trust.
Need one, man.
Yeah, and I brought something for you as well. I don't know what these guys are wearing for armor, but could I have brought some of the armor from what? From Slap Pad?
Yeah.
Bag. I don't know what these guys are wearing armor-wise. I also don't know what Consuela and Santiago have armor-wise.
So let me have a look. Consuela has she's got mesh.
I knew I could trust you.
She's got mesh on her body, arms and legs, armor 3, and a flak helmet 2.
That's nothing bad then.
Santiago has got mesh, 3 on his body, arms and legs, no head armor.
Yes, I think one of them's got. I think there's a helm in that magic bag, isn't there? Black
I
helm.
can't remember.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's
Either mesh or a flak helm, I believe.
Black helmet.
Okay, so you're giving that
Yeah.
to Santiago?
Huh?
Okay, I'll put that on
Would
your
I like
couch
to-
sheet, Johnny.
Okay, can't swear there.
No.
I'm going to have to
Yeah.
head off, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, see you next time.
All right, see you later, James.
Take some minutes.
See you later, buddy.
Then,
Yeah, mate.
Kenny's also going to go. We also need some fucking explosives. I happen to have a big bag of them. I can't remember where I got these, but I've got a big bag of
You've had 'em
explosives.
for a
I think
long
we raided
time,
them from the
yeah.
mansion. Yeah, I think we raided them from the mansion, maybe.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, it's like, anyone want frags? I'm going to start handing them out to my minions. And to the others, I don't know who may need grenades, but
How many have you got?
36.
Shit! I was not expecting that.
That might not.
There's-
That might be
there's-
enough.
There's basically a rucksack with fire bombs, crack grenades, and frag grenades. I was going to use. I can't remember why. I was going to use it as a big bomb.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
you were going to do
I
that.
can't
I
remember
don't
why
remember
though.
why.
It was a while ago now. But yeah. Anyway, so I'd like to hand out anyone who wants some frags in the team. welcome to-
So,
or maybe just hand say like 3 to each or so.
That is a bag of flags. Remember, I heard.
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
gonna go.
anyone can use a grenade. Who wants a grenade or 6?
Yeah, pass me some here.
Yeah. I knew I could tempt you. I knew I could trust you. I knew you wouldn't grass on me.
I just go with it, whichever way the wind blows, say.
Yeah, well, the wind's blowing our ways. I'm going to even the fucking odds. It's going to be a hard day. King Canny, it's got a nice ring to it.
Okay. Does Slab want any grenades?
Yeah, might as well.
So there's 7 of you altogether by my count. I think. How do you want to split them up, Hal?
I was tempted to have at least some of them in a bag as like a big bomb.
Yeah.
So I don't need any. That'd be 6. So if I do, what I'll do is I'll hand out 5 to each. And I'll leave 6 in the rucksack with a couple of fire bombs, some crack, and then I'll leave 6 frag in, and then 5 to each.
Okay, so if you want to add 5 frag grenades to your character sheets.
Cool.
And you're keeping the rest, yeah?
Yeah, I'll in the
Hey,
rucksack.
can
It's
you add
like-
it to mine? Because I'm.
they're gonna be talking. We'll be talking about this day for years to come.
The great fag fryer?
Oh no! I think
No, that's something different. We don't want to go there. No,
Well, not
it's the 21st century. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I knew I could trust you. I knew you wouldn't grass on me.
All right. So, I'm just going to nip to the toilet. Back in a sec.
What are you playing, Johnny? Still on ball action, I presume. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you doing Russians, is it?
Russians, lots of Russians.
Or Soviets?
Soviets, yeah, Soviets.
And a new army.
Yeah.
Been
So-
playing much?
Hey, do I play? Do I get to play much?
Have you been playing much?
Not much, not as much as I'd like. So I've got a tournament coming up on. We're doing like our own little mini tournament on the 27th of April at the Old School Hall.
All right.
So we're going to run it there. This is like a tryout, and then maybe we're going to advertise it, on for a wider audience.
And how many do you have in your little gang?
Well, we've got about 15, 16 of us at the minute.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
but we're going to. But the amount of people that are coming on that day are probably going to be about 7 or 8. You know what I mean?
Still more than I expected. It's still a healthy number to have in a.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we've got like some beginners, but like all the people that sort of coming along are sort of experienced gamers. So should be really good. Looking forward to it. So it might be worth popping down just so you can see how Bolt Action works.
Yeah. So it looks like a nice, fun game, mate. Just not really got a huge amount of gaming mojo. It seems to be only RPG that I'm even playing at the minute. Don't seem to be painting very much. Not doing much game.
think what you need to do is you need to just try a new game before before you get the phone back.
Yeah, it's just it's it comes in fits and starts, mate. But
Yeah.
I played a little game called Moonstone.
All right, is that any good?
Which was it was a fun little game. It's a little skirmish game, 4 or 5 models aside, and it's a bit like that Malifaux that I played before, but easier,
All right, yeah.
like a card-based sort of game. And that was a fun little game.
Cool.
Played goblins with fart attacks, so they had little aura fart bubbles, so you could kill with like toxic gases. That appealed to me as well. So
That sounds
that's the
great.
last game I had. Yeah, that's the last little game I played, and I quite enjoyed it. It's like what I like about it, I think it's the same with bot action. It's kind of rather than it's one turn and then one turn.
Yeah.
I go. You know what I mean? It's not like you're kind of interchanging whose go it is.
Yeah, it's a bit more back and forth.
Yeah, which I think makes a much better game than 40k.
It does. Yeah, it's a bit more involving. You know what I mean? For both players. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Rather than just one person watching the guys die. You know what I mean? A lot could happen in 40k. It was just like in one turn, you can just like, if you didn't get the first turn, you're like, fuck.
It's hugely important getting the first turn.
Yeah. So it's but I mean with bolt action, it's always back and forth, so which is cool. So you just activate individual units, or you can do if you've got ops, so they can activate multiple units. You activate them. So
when's your tourney? Did you say? When did you say it was?
Sunday the 27th of April. Sunday the 27th.
2 weeks from now, then, yeah.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm trying to get these Soviets ready for then. So.
So you still got a bit of work to do.
Oh yeah, fair bit. I've got about 45 infantry to paint, and then the whole lot to base up. We've got transfers coming. Decal transfers coming tomorrow. So I'm going to put lots of Soviet stars on. Russian writing everywhere and all that sort of stuff. Got I've just done the basics on them. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm really enjoying starting a new army. I've got loads, quite a few British. I've got loads of Germans.
Lots of Germans.
Loads of Germans, right? Got hundreds of thousands of points of Germans, like loads. So I've got enough armies for basically to give anybody who wants to give it a try an army.
I'd like to give it a raz, mate. Yeah, I'd like to give it a raz.
Yeah. So who would you like to use? Germans or
probably German.
Yeah. So yeah, Germans are pretty cool. Got some good stuff.
Right. So you head inside the pipeline, unless there's anything else you want to do in preparation.
Okay. Nope. Got this IO stick.
Yeah, we're gonna have an IO stick. Gonna hand IO sticks around 20. We might want one.
Okay.
And so yeah, nothing could possibly go wrong. Kenny's gonna say.
Santiago's gonna flip in, bring two lots of 3 grenades together.
Okay.
Yeah. You making like are you putting gaffer tape around your grenades and making
a cluster bomb?
Yeah. For maximum effect. He knows what we're going up against. Like,
They back to the rafters in there with goons.
Don't worry. Don't you worry. Got it all under control.
Well, you're the boss, man.
Yeah,
I follow your lead.
I'm gonna even it up. I know, yeah.
This might be the craziest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, but it's gonna be worth it. You're gonna be rich. You're your wildest dreams.
Or dead.
All dead.
No one's gonna die. No one's gonna die if you're loyal. Oh, loyal.
Benevolent dictator.
He is loyal. Yeah, of course he is.
Okay, so once morale is boosted by Canny's rousing speech, we've had our IO sticks. Let's head in.
Okay. Okay. So you head into this pipeline. It's quite a long, winding pipeline. There's very little air passing through it. It gets very warm very quick. And eventually you start to see this soft, flickering red light ahead, and this giant fan at the opposite end of this pipe. And beyond that pipe, beyond that fan and the flickering red light, there is some softer, almost amber glows, and you can hear distant voices. And Santiago approaches you, Canny, and says, "This is it. The Pig Iron Raiders are just through here, Canny. What's the play?"
Yeah. I've got this sack. I'm gonna put it on Esther's head, pretend she's Seraph. Gonna get close. Then we're gonna fuck them up. Yeah? That's the plan.
Okay, cool.
They're stupid, they're Pig Iron Raiders. They're thick as fuck.
Yeah, they're definitely the lowest of the low of all the gangs, I say.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Sanchez, he must be getting desperate to be using those guys.
Okay.
That's me. When I'm king, these Pig Iron Raiders, they'll be nowhere in sight.
Would you say, Alan, that you just can't wait to be king?
Oh no. Oh no, Dave.
Oh, Hayden's back!
Hey, welcome back, sir.
Just a second.
No.
I'm just trying to find the map that I definitely created. Where the fuck has that gone?
Have you checked down the back of the sofa?
Senses combat. That's why it's come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
I woke up
Did it on
with fucking
purpose. He's
cold.
like, nah, I'm not interested in all this talking. No, I'll come back when the fighting starts.
No, have I got anybody in this? I don't do it.
You do. You've got
Okay.
Consuela, which is one of Alan's companions. She's a very tall, 6'4", I think she is, woman gangster with the. You might remember her. She has the two-handed axe, which is technically
Big
a
axe.
scythe. She has a massive scythe, and she can do
Ah,
a
okay.
sweeping attack. If you look in your section of
Make big gashes.
yes, if you look in your section of Roll20, you should see her character sheet. Consuela
Okay, we'll do it in a
Underworld,
minute.
it's called. Anyway, I'm going to put you onto a map. You move through this dark pipe, and you get to this large fan. And you step down from the fan into this very dark space. And here you go. Here is a map. And Esther currently has a bag on her head. You should all be able to see, I think, on the map. It should be dimly lit, but you should be able to see.
Oh, Dave, just one other little thing. Have we had a day pass since I got Auto Sanguine the talent? Which is when we last leveled up.
Yes.
So I get 2 wounds back from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'd also like to use a fate point if I may. Is it D3?
D5.
D5? Just use a fate point for another set of wounds, please.
Okay. So you can see a few people loitering around. Consuelo and Santiago kind of know these guys. Canny, you've maybe seen them around. They're part of the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood, of course, is this amalgamation of 6 different gangs from the Hive that have been brought together by King Sanchez. And these particular ones are known as the Pig Iron Raiders. There's a few of them here. You maybe don't know them by name or by face, but you recognise them by face, sorry, but you don't know them by name. You've seen them about, Canny. And they're loitering around on the opposite side of this bridge that passes over this river of industrial runoff. And there's 3 of them, as you can see them so far. There's a couple over to one side, and there's one guy over on the other side. The guy on the other side, the guy on his own over here, he is posing, for want of a better word. He has a data slate set up on a stack of crates, and he's got a pair of pistols, one in each hand, and he's like posing in front of this data slate and making kissy faces and stuff. He doesn't seem to have so far noticed your approach.
New profile pic.
Is basically whatever fucking 40k Instagram is, he's all over that. The other two guys over on the far side. The other two guys over on the far side also don't seem to have noticed you yet. They're stood talking to each other. They're both wielding shotguns, and they're stood chatting to each other. They haven't noticed you emerge from the shadows at this point of time. So you're not in any sort of initiative order, but turn order rules apply, movement rules apply. If you're moving silently, I'm going to need rolls. If you're talking, you might be heard. So it's up to you how you proceed, but crack on. What do you want to
do? So I'd like for Slab to take the prisoner. I'm going to have my weapons sheathed, so I'm pretending that I'm not in any mood for combat. So I'm going to walk forward. I'd like Slab to come with me with the prisoner. Other guys, I guess, maybe hide and ambush when we decide to go for it.
Okay.
Maybe it's just me and Slab and the prisoner at this stage, rather than going in as the full squad.
I will heft her over my shoulder so that her face is hanging down the back with her arms.
And it's hard to tell the height as well.
And on my back, in one of my fucking straps that I'm wearing, I'll have her gun so that she can grab it.
Nice. Good call. Yeah.
Nice.
So you three are heading out in front.
We're gonna walk nonchalantly.
These four in the shadows? Something like that?
Yeah, is that right, you guys?
Yeah.
By
Oh,
that way,
maybe if we all go together, like we just set like it's like we've all met up. So.
I mean, Santiago and Consuela are known to the Pig Iron Raiders as well because they're members of the
I can take my minions with me because we're not gonna act worried.
Okay,
so like we have every right to be there, right?
Yep. So you're leaving Jarek and Light in the shadows. Okay.
Is Jarek more of a combat kind of guy, is he?
Jarek's basically a tank, yeah. He's got he ordinarily has a concussion spear, but he's run out of warheads for it. So at the moment he's got a mono warhammer and a shield. He's got pistols as well. He does have pistols.
So we'll leave
as
them two. Yeah. We'll give them two back, I think.
Okay. All right.
I'll shout out as we walk out and go, "Oi, oi, Savaloy!"
You immediately
walk
get the attention 2, 3 of these people. They start walking forward, and they one of the shotgun wielders says, "Oh, all right, yeah, it's the big lad, Kenny. We were told to expect you. You brought the girl then, is you? Hey?"
I'll just a gesture with my head over to my companion.
I'm going to ask for a deceive roll, Kenny, with the +40.
You blind, are you?
No, but it's fucking dark down here, isn't it?
Let's have a little deceive.
Oof.
Path with 8 degrees.
I'm going to make a scrutiny roll for him. Oh, he failed. He says, nice, sweet. I'll vox the boss, tell him you're coming. And he reaches into his pocket. He pulls out a hand vox.
Jam, did you say? Is that what you said?
Esther hasn't jammed it yet.
How is this going to work? Sorry, Dave, can you explain to me the jamming process?
So the jamming process is basically a device she turns on and it blocks vox signals within a 25 to 30 meter radius.
Okay, so I guess that comes into her.
Okay.
Yeah, look lively. Sackhead.
Right, I'm just going to move you guys forward as a group.
I'm just going to go for we go. Give us 2 minutes, please.
Okay.
Be right back.
Excuse me.
Dirty bastard.
Sorry, I do apologise. That's the weird pasta thing I had today. It had all the garlic in the universe in it, and I haven't stopped burping garlic since. It's been quite disgusting.
Tonight, then.
Say again.
No vampire snacks on Dave today.
Or sex.
No sucking off vampires.
Yeah, you don't want to do that anyway. It's just like, you remember? Did you ever accidentally inhale a sherbet fountain as a kid? That's what it's like.
Oh, God.
That's what it's like sucking off a vampire. Apparently.
Snorted one when I was a kid.
I snorted.
God.
I snorted. Do you remember the sherbet flying saucers? I snorted
Yeah.
one of them at college for a bet, and I did it. I didn't realise I did it in front of the staff room with a load of teachers watching me. But I did it to a £5 note off a mirror. And I got hauled into the staff room, and they were like, "We've contacted your parents." And I'm like, "For what?" And they're like, "You've been seen snorting powder." I was like, No. That was sherbet. They're like, "You were snorting it to a £5 note off a mirror." I was like, "I know, it was sherbet. I did it for a bet." And they're like, "The police have been contacted." It was just fucking, what? No, it was fucking sherbet. And the stupid thing is that at school, when I was in the 5th year, we were doing design and technology. We had to make a cake of some kind, and I had this whole kilo bag of icing sugar, and I went round with it in like little baggies, trying to sell it to first years for £1 a dab. So twice in my life, I've almost ended up arrested by the police for not selling drugs.
Are you an anti-dealer?
Yeah, I was selling an icing sugar.
You get less. You get less of selling for sensing them, and more of a sentence for telling people they're bad for taking them nowadays.
Well, yeah. Come on, Winnie, what's up? You don't like this table being here, do you? The cat's fucking freaking out. Oh, yeah, you haven't met my new cat, have you? Here we go, look. Here we go. Hang on. Oh, there she is, scampering away. That's Winnie.
Oh,
Can't see you, Dave. Can't see you.
Winnie, come here, you ball bag.
That's good.
Winifred McPoopington III is her name, officially. Right.
That's a harsh cat name.
I know. Right. Okay. So you approach this area. I'm going to put you about there. They don't seem to have twigged that this is not Seraph. They're like, "Yeah, nice one, Canny. There was a few people, mate, were doubting you. You know, a few were saying you weren't going to come back, that you had allegiances to others, some organisation of people you've been spotted with and that, doing stuff that the king don't know about. But we knew, didn't we, boys? Yeah, we said, that big lad, we seen him fight. He's a good boy, you know, he's strong, he's tough, he's a loyal man." Esther flicks on the Vox transponder, and she gives you a thumbs up behind Slab's back.
Yeah, you Pig Eye Raiders. Trash. You stupid. Think of that. You're thick as fuck. You're all a bunch of idiots.
You fucking what?
Word me.
This one takes a few steps forward. You fucking come here. I've just been nice to you, man. Just paid you a compliment, and you come here fucking mouthing off.
You're a fucking idiot. You could think that of me. You don't know me.
He's going to draw his cleavers.
Okay.
You're fucking dead.
I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Fucking Pig Eye Raiders. You fucking corned beef, mate.
New flavour of Space Raiders. Pig Out Raiders.
Corned beef quavers.
Flavors.
Where have I put?
Quavers.
I wish I had 2 monitors.
Would have had if you didn't fucking throw one on the floor.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. Sorry. That was really bad. I can't believe that the monitor that guy sold me for 50 quid is fucking better than the one I paid for. It's ridiculous. 9.
7 for me, Tom.
Okay. 9s, that is a 9. That is 12 for that guy, and a 12 for that guy. I believe 2 Guns Tommy might be on an 11. He is. Alright.
Can I use a fate point for a 10, please? Then?
Of course you can.
That's
Dave,
not hard.
I can't see the map.
I can fix that. Who are you? You're Consuelo, aren't you?
Spoiler.
Yeah, you've
I
got no
can't slot
vision.
the token.
There you go.
I'm
You
trying
didn't
to
have any
slot the
vision,
token
that's
so I can roll initiative.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
Oh, I got the what do you call it? Character sheets for.
You should have Santiago. Yeah, if you go to your area of the journal.
Oh,
I always forget the word for journal for some reason.
Santiago,
Oh, Hayden, you've got
Yeah.
5 frag grenades on the minion dude, on the NPC dude.
Oh, excellent.
I did that out before the game.
Right, I'm gonna pop one right now.
That's the spirit.
No, I'm not that bad.
What I will say is the Vox is being jammed, but loud explosions are not.
Oh.
Yeah, you're all smart enough to realise that as characters, maybe not as players. I mean, sometimes, you know, who gives a fuck? Sometimes you just got to blow shit up, right?
It depends if you've got a wild, unthinking Johnny on your team.
There's no such thing as a wild, unthinking Johnny. There is only a bloodthirsty Johnny.
More like a condom balloon in the wind, then.
Oh. Oh.
Right, let's see what I've got. I'll get rid of Tal's fucking character shit. I don't need that. I don't need Long with the King. Let's keep that there. I've got 3. Alright, who've we got?
I
Eric?
don't think I've got Santiago's, what do you call it?
You have. I'm looking at it. So if you go to the journal, go to the warband.
His file structure is quite disorganised.
It's not-
I know it's got to. It's
Fuck you, Alan.
It's just. I can understand, Johnny.
Look, Alan, I know where you live, and I do have knives. So don't start with me, right? It's Alan. Just fucking wind it in. How does it not make sense, right? You go to your folder, which is called Johnny, and there are several files in there. One of them is called Santiago. It's not rocket surgery.
Just work on it, Dave. You know, just take the criticism.
I will
Don't get
beat
angry.
you, Alan. I haven't seen you in the flesh for a while, but don't think that doesn't mean I can't come around and just slap you silly.
It's coming round to slap you back now. It's 5 minutes away.
It's
So
fine.
it could pop up on your screen.
I don't mind a slapping. I'm kind of into it, you know. It's one of my kinks.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it as they.
Well done,
Good
SA.
for looking nice,
It's not true
Bingo.
what they say. You're not so stupid you can't find your own character sheet with both hands. What are you doing, Win? Hey, come here. Nope.
Been joined by my familiar.
Aha!
You're familiar.
He's blue in the back there. If you can see him.
See him lurking about.
Oh,
Blue's a good boy.
okay.
Well,
But
blends in quite well with the couch.
Come on.
Are you
He
a
does.
stealthy boy, aren't you? You good boy, aren't you? Yes, you.
He does blend in really well with that couch, actually. Come on. Could be brave.
some good muscle on him.
She's so
Wait,
skittish.
yeah, he's
I need to get a proper
Man.
picture of this cat, Dave, because she stands
But
like a
don't
bulldog.
make good eating.
She's got that, you know how bulldogs stand with their legs like this?
Yeah.
She stands, I've never seen a cat do it before, but she stands like this all the time. It's really fucking weird. Yay! Well done.
Yeah.
Alright, let's put you in turn order. Where's my
Something quite ironic about the slowest fucking thing in the game being an initiative test.
It does always. It's in every game. Always takes fucking ages. Let's just put that in. Canny, you put a 10 in, right?
Yeah, so it's total of 15.
You haven't added yourself to the turn order, though, have you?
And I just roll it in the doodle.
Well, I guess I'll do it for you then.
Please do, Dave. I mean, it's about time you did a bit of work.
Oh.
Oof, them's fighting words. Alan's feisty tonight.
You literally threatened to knife me.
No.
a few
I
moments
threatened to
ago.
cut you.
No. That's how I heard it.
No, Dave, you
No,
did.
cut you.
I've
Cut
got
you.
9.
I mean,
That's shanking,
so
mate.
don't. Yeah, I mean, come on, Dave. All I'm saying is you started it. That's all
I
I'm saying.
usually do. It's you know.
I told you.
Don't
This
pretend
is
to be
back to
shocked.
my earlier statement.
Just to be the intermediary here, he actually said he knows where you live and he's got knives. He was offering to come round and cut you a slice of cake.
Yes, if you had some problems with cuts of meat,
Climb up a tree.
you know, anything that required stabbing and bleeding, anything like that, I'm there for you. Right. Okay.
Spin boxer Dave in your defence, Dave. So,
It's not. I like
Good
the fact that
spin.
Dave
That was
jumps
good.
to my defence.
yeah, it was good spin.
It's nice.
that.
It's nice to have someone at my back, not like you, Alan. You fucking.
I'm at your back with my fucking own knife.
Yeah, I bet you are. Anyway, it's your fucking turn, Canny. Let's see if you survive this fight.
Alright, so we'll Okay,
Oh, wait.
okay.
Wait.
Well, mate, it's not personal, Dave.
Oh, it's definitely personal now, Alan. Here we go. Let's do this.
Right. I would like to charge Two Guns Tommy. There's a bit of industrial runoff in the way. I'd like, if I may, to jump off. I like to fast draw my cleaver and meat hook. I like to jump over the gap. Charge Two
You
Guns
can,
Tommy.
you can, or you
What's
can run south and turn and charge that
Oh, so
way.
you can charge in. You can charge in an angle, can you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
charge.
your last
Ah,
4
okay,
meters
okay,
have
okay.
to be a straight line.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll do it that way. There's no risk.
I'm
So
not
I'll
saying
move here
don't
and then-
do the cinematic thing. But
No. No, Canny's too fat to jump.
would be a
out
shame if you fell in the runoff, Alan. But yeah,
especially after you've trolled me, Dave. My ego can't take it. So I like to move down here.
I
to
don't
charge.
believe that. I think it can. I
Um,
think you're very good at taking abuse, Alan. That's why I like
Well, I
you.
did.
You almost said you think you're very good at taking it then,
Yeah, I
didn't you?
did
You was-
actually. Yeah, I had to back off.
That's a big comment. But no, I mean, I definitely took some abuse from Tal at the ocean
Exactly.
very earlier on.
I mean, it's got to be
Right,
done.
anyway, I'd like.
So
good looking.
it's a charge plus 20. Do you have berserk charge or anything like that?
Do indeed. Yes.
Okay, so plus 30 then, please. And I will find
Where's
two
my character
runs.
sheet, Dave? I can't find it.
I will fucking murder you.
It's down there. It's down there. Trust me.
No, but- It's just-
Don't question my organization skills.
I found it.
Okay. That is a pretty good charge. Two Guns Tommy is going to try a dodge. You know what? I'm going to do it on here
Why? Because you cheated.
because I might. Oh, I thought that was a proper dice roller. His dodge is 40. That is a fail.
I'd like to use a fate point on the charge to add. No, I did. So it's 4 degrees. I'd like to use a fate point to add plus 4 damage.
Yeah, sure.
Go.
Give me a damage roll, please. Oof. All right.
Plus 4 on top of that.
Okay, so that's 28. Pens 3. Where have you hit him? You've hit him in the 63. Is that a leg or is that an arm? A body, sorry. It's a body, isn't it? 63 in the body. 63? No. 28 in the body. That is cut straight through his armour. I'm not even going to bother working that out. You charge Two Guns Tommy. You slice him in half in one devastating blow.
Never told 2 guns.
He is dead. Oh, no. He's still holding his 2 guns, but he's dead while he's doing it. Okay,
Split
that's
in the middle.
Canny's turn. Slab.
I'm going to grab a hold of that fella standing next to me.
Okay.
Shotgun pull.
Grappling him, are you?
Yeah.
Opposed strength test, I believe. I mean, who's going to win this?
It's all in the dice, isn't it?
It is.
Nice to sign.
Yeah, you
think I'm
definitely
gonna
won
win,
that.
though.
Yeah, I rolled a 79, so you grappled him.
I'm going to heft him into the green shit.
Okay, so a grapple is a grapple a full action? I can't remember.
I believe so.
I believe it is. So you've grappled him this turn, and next turn you'll be able to oik him into the green ship. All right?
He's happy.
Esther is... What was that? What was that?
That was Johnny, classic Johnny is what that was.
He said, he's happy! Because he's happy.
Fucking hell. Esther is on Slab's shoulder, yeah?
Johnny, I love you, Johnny.
Esther's going to grab her weapon from... Oh my god. Do you realise what Esther's armed with? So
Nothing,
I don't think she has quick draw. She does have quick draw. So for quick draw, she's going to snatch her weapon off Slab's back. For half an action, she's going to...
What weapon was it?
throw herself off Slab and land there. For the other half action, she's going to unleash her bolt gun.
I had that wedged between my arse cheeks.
Just clenching as you mince across the bridge.
Walking very carefully.
She's going to fire.
In the barrel to see if it's strained.
1, 2,
Don't think
3,
so
4,
after it's been in Ogren's ass.
5. She's not going to be sniffing that. Don't worry about that.
No, I didn't say sniff it.
Eat it.
Check it, see if it's straight. Between an Ogren's buttocks, it could be quite easily bent.
Yeah, that's quite muscular. There.
Yeah. I would say a gun's straight after it's been up an ass.
I don't know what just happened.
The aim is on.
I don't know what that was.
Needs calibrating.
Okay, Esther misses with her bolt gun barrage at shotgun Pete. Then it's shotgun Paul, who is currently in Slab's grip. Can you make another strength test, please? He tries to break free. Yep, you've still got hold of him. Shotgun Pete. He's going to take aim at Esther. Single shot, half aim, short range plus 30. That is 65 he's rolling against. It's a miss. Two Guns Tommy is dead. Get him off there. Consuela! Consuela, where are you?
Should be with
3, 4,
Okay.
5,
There she is.
6, 7, 8. Charging shotgun. Is that Pete?
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit of a stickler and force you to be there for the charge so that the last 4 meters are in a straight line. But you can still make the charge, but you end it there. So plus 20. I don't know if Consuela has any bonuses to charging. Don't think she does.
No, I don't think she does. I've just looked through things. There's
No,
nothing
she
there. She's wary.
Yeah, the only thing.
Wary.
Oh, yeah, she's wary, isn't she? So I'm going to give her +1 initiative. Not that it matters. It won't change anything at this moment in time. But yeah, the only thing she's really got is that special scything.
My phone's about to run out. I'm just going to come out of.
1 minute.
Okay.
I'm just going to see if we've got a big point.
I think she has.
She's got 0.
Oh, isn't she?
Yeah, it's 0 on both boxes.
Yeah, she must have.
just a
She must have
minion.
used the one. She would have started with 1. So she's just a minion. So Jarek.
You used it, so yeah, she does know.
Jarek is going to Jarek's quick draw. He does have hammer, but he doesn't have guns. So he's gonna come running. He's got his pistol drawn and his shield, and he's going to Captain America his way up this motherfucker. Does he have hip shooting? He does not. His movement there. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to take a shot. Should be no aiming. Short range still. Single shot. Does don't think he has any other mods. He does not. Well, what did that do? Fucking turn off this 3D dice thing. It's fucking ridiculous.
Really
that's a
laggy.
hit. Yeah. It doesn't seem to do anything, and then it does two things. Oh, sorry, that was -20 because he's shooting into combat because of Consuelo, but he still hits. Shotgun Pete is going to try and... He's not going to dodge because he's going to be focused on the melee. Jarek's going to hit him in the bits. Okay. Tearing. I can't see that dice. Where's it gone? No, there we go. 8. Right, so that is 8. No pen on it. And that will do. Where did I hit? 7. 4. 4 wounds to Shotgun Pete from Jarek. Okay. Next up is Light. James, what are you doing? I don't know, I'm James, my hair's long and that's about all I've got right now. James is gonna... Well, I'm a really good painter, but I'm a really lazy painter. Oh, I'm James.
Doesn't sound like James.
It doesn't, you're right. James is going to do what Light would probably do, because James is a power gamer.
James has got more class than that.
He has, you're absolutely right. I'm mocking him because he's not here to defend himself. I apologise, all right? But I'm going to do him good, because James is a power gamer.
If you want to mock James, you do it to his face. You know, you should.
I won't. What I'll do is I will do James justice by power gaming the shit out of this and spending 25 minutes to take my turn.
You're mocking him again now.
sorry. No, I'm going to... see, he would probably think Slab can take that. Consuela's in need of help. 16 meters, that's the best he can do. He can maximise this by going... He's not got a red dot on the bolt gun. He's got... would he use his bolt gun? Would James
I would
use
say
his
James
bolt gun?
is faster. James is faster now.
Faster
He has.
than Dave.
He's got.
Yes, he is faster than Dave. You're right. Dave
Shut up, Alan.
I think it's ever since I've drill sergeant him in my game.
I mean, if we had to rank him, I think we'd put James. James has moved above Dave now.
Oh, come now, Alan. If you're going to troll me, at least make it believable.
I know that landed, Dave. Don't you right talking.
Look what you've done. I've made him hit. Let's do some shots. There we go. There we go. I told you I'd do James proud. That is going to cut through his armor. That's 10 damage. The Pig Iron Raider has a toughness of 3. That's 7 wounds. Esther already did a few. That's that guy dead. Santiago. It's you, Johnny?
Okay. So...
Yes.
The Shotgun Paul's there, isn't he? So I'm going to try and move to Shotgun.
He's in like a Belg, I think. Shotgun.
Shotgun Paul is currently grappled by Slab.
Okay.
It's going to be very difficult to hit him without hitting Slab.
Can I run in and just try and cut his throat with my machete?
You can try. You can certainly try.
I'm going to try that. Can you move him for me, Dave? Because I've got no mouse at the minute and it's like, it's bloody impossible with this.
What's Santiago's movement?
Yeah, he's just going to charge into that combat, gang up on the guy.
Okay, so you can charge, but Santiago's movement is shit. He's only got movement of 2. So he can charge, but his charge is only 6. So he would get in. But because it's a charge, he gets a plus 20, but he is technically minus 20 because he's already in a melee, because he's grappled, sorry. And it would also be another minus 20 because you're aiming for a specific body part. So you would be on minus 20. And your weapon skill, by the way, is 27.
I know, yeah. Let's do it.
I love it. Go for it. Okay, so you rush in, trying to assist Slab with his burden. Make a weapon skill attack. You need a 7 or less, Johnny.
Yeah, mine's.
Sorry, how is that? It's so low. I thought it'd be easy to see him when he's been grappled. Like,
Because it's a cold shot as well.
okay.
Yeah, you just trying to stab him, and Slab's like, ow, ow. It's just tiny little cuts on Slab's forearms.
Oh, damn it, I'm so slow, I say.
All right, and then why is Eric on here?
Yeah, he shouldn't be, should he?
No.
Could be Light. And
Yeah,
Jarek.
Light's had his go, hasn't he?
Where's Eric? I don't see Eric. He's not even on the map.
Eric was never supposed to be here. There was supposed to be 7 of you, wasn't there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right. Eric stayed back. Eric's back at the hangar. Turn 2, Kenny.
So do I see anyone on this side other than Two Guns Tommy?
Make an awareness test, please. Sorry. Hang on, I need to roll that back a little bit. Just a moment.
No worries.
Yeah, make an awareness test now, please.
Fail.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you don't see anyone else here except for the guy that Slab has got in his arms right now.
Okay. I'll ignore that. I'm going to like to... How many actions to chop off Tommy's head?
I mean, you can do that for free. It's a prone target. It's got no defense ability whatsoever.
Okay, so take off his head. I'd like to quick draw the... He had a data slate, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Can I quick draw that? Pick it up? Have a look?
It's just full of pictures of himself.
I'm going to toss it into the industrial runoff.
Okay.
I'm going to move this way. Lost my character. I can't seem to select him now. Once I've moved on to Two Guns Tommy, we've melded into this strange... Thank you.
Hybrid.
Yeah, I'd like to... I'll tie his skull to my belt.
Okay.
I'll just walk down here, looking around for fresh meat. We'll see anything this way?
Make an awareness test, please. Another one.
I pass.
Okay. Yeah, you find a credit chip on the floor.
Lucky me, says Kelly.
20 thrones.
Okay. But I don't see any adversaries.
You do not.
Okay. I think that'll do for me. It's like, I'll pick it up on me. Oh no, I've got an extra half move as well. If I don't see, there's no other exits here as well, is there? It's just
Doesn't look like it.
I'm just going to move back another 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm just going to move back and that'll be my turn, Dave.
Okay. Slab.
I'll chuck him into the green ship.
I don't think we need any rolls for that because he's a little man. You are not. You throw this man in. It's half action to throw him in. And the moment he hits this industrial runoff, he begins to sizzle and burn and he screams. And what does he scream?
Oh, what a world, what a world.
No, he screams, I'm melting! Melting! As he floats off downriver. So that's Shotgun Paul dead. You still got half an action, Slab?
Guessing that's a big door.
It is a big door.
Or stand in front of it.
Okay. Just a second. Esther's next. Esther is going to move up to the door, I guess. Yeah, she's not great. She's going to run up alongside the door. That's her turn. Consuela! Have we lost him again? We have.
Oh, bless him.
I'm just gonna move Consuela to there, for want of anything better to do. Jarek's going to continue his move. That's a 9 to there. That was a run, so Jarek's going to move to here. Light, unable to see any more targets, will also run. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He's going there. Santiago.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to get the machete. Right. Hang on, I'm just going to go off this page. There we go. Okay. Get the machete. Go up behind like the guy that's in the grapple if he's still alive.
No, he's been chucked in the river.
Oh, just it's in the river. Oh, right. Okay. Got it then. So now, is there any more enemies nearby?
Not that you can see. Make an awareness test.
Okay. So... Oh, I put on his fucking character. Can you make me an awareness test, please, Dave, for that? Forever.
Nope.
Can't see a thing.
You doing anything else?
Just gonna move me up next to Canny or Slab.
Yeah, you're already there. You're right next to Slab.
Alright, okay, I'll stay there then. I'll just not gonna draw any weapons. I'm just gonna sort of I'm gonna sheathe the machete and just pretend like nothing's happened.
Okay. Second. Okay, so okay, I'd like Ollie to make an awareness test, please.
Yeah.
Back in a sec.
Guys, I'm gonna have to head off. I'm in work 2 in the morning, so.
Oh, okay. We'll see you,
No,
buddy.
it's been a pleasure as always. We'll see you at the next game.
Yeah, I think was it Wednesday for Hayden?
I think so, yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Here's something. A voice. A muffled voice from someone who's not sure who it is. But as well as that, he also hears footsteps. Someone running over to the east. Not just running, they're wheezing as they run.
Wheezing as they run.
Yeah.
I got a runner. And he's going to point. He's going to point in the direction.
The runner.
Okay. I'll post a picture of what I've been working on the darkest.
Cool.
All right, take it easy, guys. See you later.
See you later.
Sensible. Yeah, good game, mate. Say dark is going, I'll say going straight.
So we get a little bit further, so we get into it.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it's oh, it always takes longer than you think.
Yeah, I know. What makes me laugh as well is there's always like this mad 2 hours before a game where I'm like, oh god, I didn't do that thing, or I meant to do a specific thing for that thing and I didn't do it. Oh, I might have to win that bit. And never get anywhere near it.
Ever.
I still do that. It's like in the rolling game, Dave, I mentioned to Alan, was it today or yesterday? I've got like 40 pages of notes on the adventure on the cathedral we're heading to now. Loads of shit, loads of related stuff. And you spend several hours interrogating a person and find that I don't know why, I just never expected you to interrogate that person. So I was like having to flick through my notes and pick out things and be like, well, I might know
Alright, mate. Until next time, I can see you Wednesday for Hayden's.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it. Yeah.
Cool.
And then, I think I can do Friday for the rolling game, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't do Friday, I can definitely do Saturday. I'll find that out tomorrow because my brother wants to be off for a bit. So I'll sort that out and possibly another darker next Sunday.
Cool.
We'll see. Alright, catch you later.
Alright.
See you later.
Bye. Cheers. Good game, guys. Bye-bye.